I just realized my mic was turned off. I just said I'll be back in a minute because I noticed my green screen is a little bit off. So give me a second, yeah? And I'm back. I think now it should be a little bit better. Everything should be a little bit cleaner. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Sorry for the small little delay. You know, small things like that can happen. You know, we should just live with it. Today we are going to do a bit of a tier list with K-pop videos. Now I do want to explain that before we even get into the entire list. And maybe if you guys stick around a little bit long enough, I do want to say that we're not here to bash any groups, okay? I even put this in the description in case anyone is interested. But if you are being part of this this tier listing or ranking, then just please consider that we're not here to bash any groups. We're here to actually have a look and see, you know, we're rating everything on MVs, everything that we have looked at in the past. Of course, we don't have every group. We didn't look at every group. We have some examples of groups, but not all of them are there, okay? Not all of them are visible. At least I didn't even look at them all. So it's going to be a little bit refreshing to me as well to see what we're going to be looking at. I hope it's going to be interesting for you guys. I want you guys to take and participate in this as well, because at the end of the day, it is still my opinion, but maybe you guys see something that I don't. So let's do this as a community. Let's have a little look at how we're going to rank these videos, and I think it's going to be very interesting. Let me actually open everything up, because I had it all prepared, but then I had to oh yeah, this is actually it. There we go. I have it all open at the moment, but before we get into it, actually, I just want to say, guys, thank you all for being there. I don't know who is there at the moment. I can see there's a couple of viewers there, which is nice, but yeah, if you want to say hi or anything, you can always do that. I cannot see specifically who is there. But before we get into the video itself, like always, I want to do a little bit of a big intro to my Patreon. For the people who don't know it, I do have a Patreon and I have a few tiers open. This would really help out with the channel. We're there. Basically, this would help me out with, you know, investing a little bit more into the channel, making things a little bit better. And it starts off with €1.50 a month, which is quite doable. And of course, you have all the extra tiers that can help you out. And of course, I'll be there on Discord as well. So all the links are down below. If you want to join the Discord, everything is there. We actually have one person already there, AV. What's up? But if you do want to consider joining the Patreon, it will help a lot. And yeah, that's all I can say concerning the Patreon. So if you have any questions, of course, just write me on Discord. I can always answer anything, whether you should go for A, B, or C. But at the end of the day, everything would highly support the channel. I would say let's jump into it already slowly. I think it's going to be a little bit interesting to see what we can pull out of this video. And the reason as well why I'm actually doing this is mainly because I cannot do anything else on livestream on YouTube. It's really limited to what I can do, which is a bit of a shame, but I am exploring the possibilities, and I hope this video doesn't get taken down either, because when we do these kind of videos, for example, when we look at these type of videos, it's important to know that, you know, YouTube just takes anything down that is copywritten down. Sorry, I see some of the chat. How can you rank every group when you only rank to SM groups? Well, that's the beauty of this list. So I don't know if you see it. You cannot see. Can you see it behind my head? Can you see it? There's basically a section that I added. It's called unknown. And the unknown part is where everything that I just don't know the group about. Maybe I've heard of them, I just didn't look at any of their MVs, and I don't want to rate them in any way. I think that is very unfair, and it's also kind of cool to know, because I think these are all the groups that are available at the moment. But from these groups, it's also a good test to see where am I at the moment with what I review. What did I look at? What did I not look at? Maybe there are groups that you guys will say, you know, this is cool, this is not cool, maybe this is interesting, maybe this is not interesting. And I think it's going to be fun, you know, to see what is there. It's also a very good test for me to see what MVs did I check out, what MVs did I not check out, and maybe we can, you know, check things over. And maybe you guys even say, man, that MV was terrible. You know, let's say there was an MV from EXO, for example. You say, man, I'm only using my references from what I reviewed. I just say, look, I thought that MV was terrible. Go check out that one. That is a lot better. And like I say, it's well, and this is again because you read the description, and thank you for that. I don't think a lot of people read the description actually, but what I want to say is that with the description, or sorry, with what did I want to say again? When it comes to reviewing these groups, it's all just from what we looked at, and also we're looking at the MVs. This has nothing to do with the groups. We're looking at the production value to see, was it a good MV? Did it tell the story really good? And then. And today we're only looking at groups. We're not looking at anything else. We're not looking at solo artists, even though we might use solo artists as an example. So guys, I have a question. Where do you want me to start? Which MV would you like me to look at? I'm gonna put on my headphones because I did put on some music. Is it playing? Is it not playing? It is playing. Very nice. I did put on some music, and it's nice to do this a little bit with music. But what do you guys want me to start with? It's your choice. It's also your weekend. It's our stream. It's a fun stream, and I want to keep this as simple as possible. And guys, even if I don't even know if there is going to be one, even if we give someone an F, this means nothing, okay? This still means nothing. I don't think there is anything with an F from what I know, but it could be interesting still to explore that. Let me put this like this a little bit so we see it a little bit better. Much better. So it's up to you. Where do you want me to start? Do you want me to start with EXO? Do you just want me to go through the list? I'm going to show the list a little bit. Maybe there's something there that you want me to have a little look at. I mean, we see already someone writing VIXX and Tech. I don't know if those are groups. I didn't even see them on the list, I think. Or did I? I think I saw something called VIXX. Anyway, I don't know them, so I do apologize for that. I'm going to give you guys a little bit like a minute to say what you want me to look at. If not, I'm just going to go down the list and see what we can pick up or randomly choose things. Because we have some really good ones on the top already. And actually, they're really good, actually. SHINee. Okay, let's start with SHINee. So with SHINee videos, I think, okay, and we're just going to drag it up here so we know what we're talking about. I'm just putting it in a B, okay? I'm not rating it B yet or anything. SHINee is quite a unique group. We know they're quite like what, 10 years or so. They're longer than we actually know. What I think is great, okay. Okay, and then after that we'll start with EXO, okay? But for now we start with SHINee because it was the first recommendation. So we have SHINee. Now, before we go with SHINee, from what I know, okay, and what I saw in the past, VIXX really has some spooky vibes, not gonna lie. But going back to SHINee, so SHINee is there longer than 10 years. I saw some of the videos from 2009, 2008, very old videos. And the one thing that I really like about SHINee is that they really stayed true to their nature. They tried to explore different elements. They tried to make it a fun experience. And actually, you know, they try to develop themselves further every time. Because if we look at their very first generation of videos and compare them to, for example, Don't Call Me, it's actually, for me, it's amazing because they change up their style a little bit. They change up the MVs a little bit. And they kept it very safe, you know, and I'm not trying to say safe. They stay true to their nature and who they are and who SHINee is trying to be and trying to portray. And I think this is going to be a really cool... oops, sorry. I'm going to drag the chat down a little bit so it's a little bit more equal. And when it comes to the MVs, for example, if we look at Lucifer is a really fun MV. I really enjoyed Lucifer. I thought it was fun. I think for 2008, it was really up there. We're trying to be exciting. When it comes to, for example, their latest MVs, you know, with Don't Call Me, or I think the last one was called Superstar, if not mistaken, where, you know, you had the paparazzi following them and everyone was their own character portraying their favorite section. I think personally that they did good in their MVs. I really liked them. I thought their last MV with Superstar was a little bit like, I loved that they were trying to touch point with their hobbies and what they really like doing. I thought that was great. It's really just a quick insight to what you think about the brand itself, or not the brand, the members themselves. And that was really fun. When it comes to the editing or anything crazy, it wasn't too, you know, too like, oh my god, this is mesmerizing, I've not seen this before. We've seen this quite a lot over the time. And it was also really fun, you know, to see what they're doing, but it was nothing mind-blowing. Now, if I had to place them somewhere, and again, we're not rating the music here. The music is something else. I mean, you cannot rate music with the MVs. But if I had to rate them, it's somewhere between a high B and a low A. Because I think their MVs are clean, but sometimes they also have some errors and they don't really portray the rest of the group members that much. And I'm just questioning whether it should deserve an A or not. And again, for example, Don't Call Me is cool. Atlantis is really nice, in all honesty. It's a tough one. Like, what do you guys think? Like, where would you put it? I don't think it deserves a superior title because it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't really match those standards, because there are these small things where I'm like, you know, it's good, but it could be better maybe, you know, maybe if they had a bigger budget. But maybe you guys have something to say. Where would you put SHINee? I'm thinking between these two. Maybe you guys have a better idea, maybe not. I'm going to give you guys a minute or so to think about it as well. I think that's the fair thing to do. It's really tough though. If it was me, I would think really a B is a very high B would, I think, be worth it. I think their choreography is fantastic. That will be certainly an S. I think their singing as well, S for sure. But when it comes to MVs, did they capture everything 100% correctly? It's very questionable, you know, on what people think about it. What do you guys think, actually? Do you think A or B or S? Where would you put it? Maybe someone even says they're totally an F. Maybe. I cannot really say what's in your mind. The only way for you to do that is to actually pop out and give me your opinion. That's the best way to do it, of course. Come on, guys, give me something. Give me something. I'm still thinking myself whether we should go with B or A. Personally, I would say I'm going to give it a good A. You know what? I think SHINee is entertaining. They do capture the fun, of course, with SHINee. I think that's the most important part. And I always like to rate the videos a little bit higher, purely because when you can see people having fun in videos, it's the most important. It shows that everyone was having a good time. And the only reason why I'm taking away a point from superior is purely because I would say they do sometimes do certain elements where I'm like, you know, that's a bit questionable. And the main example, for example, that I remember is with Don't Call Me, you actually have some shots where I thought a little bit forced, a little bit too, you know, it doesn't really show the entire group and people were cut out. And I thought, you know what, this is good, but it could be improved maybe. So we already have Sylvia. What did she say? I think A, because SM often gives them every minimal production to work with, like One of One, but it doesn't feel as such because they fill the gaps. Yeah, that's true. They do fill their gaps, and that's what I'm also trying to say. You know, that's why I'm going to give it an A. It seems like they're having fun and then trying to make the most out of their entire experience on the list. You know, and that, I think that's the most important. I totally agree. So at least we're on the same wavelength. You know, at least we see the same what we actually think. That's what I really admire about your point of view about the MV. Are you talking about how I'm actually open about it, that I think that it's a good MV or not? Because I am here judging MVs and not anything else. One sec. I just noticed that the chat is completely... One sec, guys. We're gonna put this like this. You know what? I have a better idea. I'm gonna move the chat over here. We're gonna move over the ranking to the side so you actually see all the groups. There we go. Much better. No, sorry, this was something that was bothering me. I just didn't know what to put it. But yeah, I'll put SHINee also on an A. I think they deserve it. I think they make the most out of their MVs. And coming back to your point now, like what you admire about the channel, like my goal is not to say that the song or the artists are good or not. That's fantastic. I just think there is so much more behind it rather than just looking at, you know, you know, I'm always bringing up Taemin as an example, but you know, Taemin, fair enough. That's like me saying, you know, I think I'm rating Taemin for this entire project, even though he's the one out of the 100 people that worked on the project. And I think it's not fair, because an MV is made with many people, and that's something that we need to remember, that, you know, it's not just the SHINee members who work on the MV, it's a lot of people. We're really talking about a lot of people. You know, you have the designers, the clothes artists, the makeup artists, you have the videographer, the assistants, there's a lot. So even though I like the MVs, I'm always excited to see them. From my end, we're going to be looking at an A. I think that is quite fair. So what's next? So we have EXO. Again, we're going to put EXO just here, okay, for the time being. We're not rating it a C yet. Where would EXO be? Now, I think EXO is very interesting as a group. I think their concept with them being aliens and them having superpowers, it took a little bit of a time for me, you know, to have a look at it, to see what I think about it. It was a little bit tricky, in all honesty. I didn't understand what they were going with. The first time I ever saw EXO, I thought they were trying to be the Power Rangers, and I even said it like, what are they trying to be here? The Power Rangers? And the answer is like, yeah, they do have their own powers. And what I like about it is just that they have this super power, but do they capture this in the correct way? You know, the question is what was their last MV on the battleship, on the carrier? I'm trying to think of it. What's the song? Maybe you guys know it. You guys will know it for sure. I can't think about it right now. What was it called? Guys, help me out. You guys have to help me out a little bit. Tell me. I need to know. Ah, damn! I really just can't have it. It's on the top of my on the top of my lip. I just can't think of it. Should we open up a? We're gonna open up another page, just, you know, as a reference point. Of course, we cannot watch the video, but what was it called? Ah, Don't Fight the Feeling. That was it. So, one sec. Let me bring this over here. Come on, get up there. So there we have. Do you guys see it or not? You guys do not see it. But anyway, we have an MV called Don't Fight the Feeling. I thought this was a really interesting MV. I thought it was really interesting to see what they were doing with the MV. But it was so different from the rest of their songs. I didn't understand what they were going with, because EXO, from what I remember, was quite dark, okay? They had quite a dark theme to it. But then all of a sudden, this is quite bright. Even the battleship looked kind of interesting. And the CGI, I thought, was good. But my problem is with, at least with Don't Fight the Feeling, it was good. My problem with CGI is that with EXO, it's very sloppy. I think there's too much CGI that doesn't work out. What they could do is really just go away from CGI and just build small props that make them look as if they were in spaceships. Now, if you're thinking about an example, when we look with, what is that song called? With Key. I Hate That. You know, that song is really good, okay? And its MV is really good. And I'm not saying it because it's good because of Key. It's good what they did actually with the MV. If we look at it, what they have this very small prop, a very small spaceship, but it looked as if it was out of space without them even filming the space. They were just filming the location where they were filming. I thought it was really good. And then some of the locations on Don't Fight the Feeling, they look really good. They're really big props, really cool. But then they throw in this really terrible CGI, and I'm like, why do they keep doing it? And I think CGI is something, and I'm just going to point it out, that CGI, you should really, either you have a really good artist and it's in your budget to make it really good, or you should skip it somehow. Try to work with other ways, because, you know, from my past experience and working on big projects, sometimes it's the same price, more or less, you know, to have CGI than build the real props to make it look like it was CGI. And it's a bit questionable. I mean, what do you guys think? Are you a fan of CGI? Are you not a fan of CGI? I would love to hear your opinion on that. You know, because if I think about EXO, like, even though their music is really, you know, refreshing, you know, it's very different from the rest, and their theme is awesome. Like, I think their theme is very unique from the rest. I mean, we also have aespa. They also have like this superhero kind of theme to it from the female group. I think that's cool as well. But if I have to rank EXO, I'm really just thinking a B, and that's purely because of the CGI. They overcomplicate it, and by that they more or less destroy it. I mean, let's have a look at some other. Can we jump through this? I hope we don't get banned. Like this, for example. For me, this could have maybe be a little bit darker. You know, if we look at the spaceship, again, they're superheroes that should be fighting people. It's very uplifting though. And then again, the song is uplifting, but does it fit to the rest of the theme of EXO? Very bright, very bright. Ooh, could be a copyright strike there. Again, really cool what we see here. I'm trying to start to skip through it. But here, for example, it would have been maybe better if they just made this a bit smaller, a little bit more confined, and they get rid of all this green screen in the background. It doesn't really do anything for the song. Like this, for example, great set, really cool. But that's really it. I don't think it's so amazing. Yeah, it looks as if we're in the middle of a spaceship, but it also looks as if they're in a studio. And what I know from spaceships is that spaceships are never this big, you know, like it's questionable, of course. We have to consider clean editing. That is a true point. Their editing, it's hard. I cannot look at the videos now, but from what I remember, it's clean. But again, sometimes the color grade is also a little bit awkward. I mean, let's go through it, for example. They always add these effects to it, and that was actually a good example. I don't know if I can get that frame again. I love this scene, by the way. I love the ending scene with Don't Fight the Feeling. I thought that was fantastic, where they just invite all the extra people. Really cool. I just think some of the effects they throw in there are just not needed. It's very distracting, and it doesn't really do anything, and it just cheapens out the entire video. Like, can you imagine? I'm trying to find this one scene where there was this light. This, for example. Like, I get what they're going with, but look at how many effects they're throwing through the MV, okay? Just look how many effects. It's a lot based on the effects. I'm not really sure if I'm enjoying that too much. Purely because it's just disorientating, and it's not really good. Like, it's not believable. Even here, I'll be questioning whether, you know... I think this is Kai, by the way. Whether Kai is standing in this location. Obsession was a really good one, you know. Obsession, EXO. Let's have a quick look. So Obsession, I thought, was really good, and that's purely because, and I don't know if you guys watched it with me, but when I looked at it, the sets were just fantastic. And for this video, I would really say it's worth a good A, but if you look at the rest of the videos, it's not worth an A for sure. And sometimes I'm even questioning whether it should be a B. You know, maybe a C is deservable. But I think the song Obsession is really the one that really saves them. And it's a shame that they went away from this theme, because it was a real set, it was believable, it was fun, it was, you know, it looked as if they were really in a location rather than, okay, they're standing in front of a green screen. I really am not a big fan of people standing in front of a green screen. I think it's not really attractive, if I can say so. It's just not fun. And I mean, what do you guys think? Like, do you think they deserve it? Do you think they don't deserve it? I would really just go for a B, in all honesty. I think they're fun, and it's funny that I actually left them on a B. I think they're fun, but the production team needs to, you know, maybe take a step back at one or two, you know, to say, okay, what are we doing and what can we maybe do better? We're really good at building sets, and we're really terrible at effects. So what about we build better sets than what we already have, and then go to CGI? I think that will be something very interesting. I think that could be really fun, actually. And it can also be a little bit more of a safer choice for them, I think, because, yeah, what can I say? It's just that the CGI is not really good, you know? It's not really amazing, if I can say so. It's my personal opinion, but, yeah, it's, they could just do it better, I think. Just get rid of all the CGI, get rid of all the extras, and, make it just, you know, make it less but more, if that even makes sense. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think a B is a fair ranking? Maybe even some of you guys might think it's worth a C. Like, we can really see, you know, like, CGI can be good, but you must know how to use it. True point. You really need to understand how to use it. If you don't, it's a good game, and you can literally quit on the spot. It's not fun to use terrible CGI or even terrible green screen. I mean, even look at me. YouTube review. Where am I? There, for example, when we look, for example, at this, you know, my background, I don't want to make it too complicated. I don't want to make it too crazy, because I know I'm not a CGI artist. I'm not a green screen artist, and I need to work with what I have. But for me, this looks good. You know, my green screen looks okay. It looks as if I'm in the room without making it too complicated. I have the lighting correct. I have the, you know, everything, my skin tones fit with the lighting that is there. I need to fix my hair like I always need to. Very important. But I think that is just something that is really important as well, that these big productions need to just take a step back. But by that, they need to take maybe a step forward, you know, by removing something. And I think the CGI is just not functioning. And we already saw it, for example, with Key and what was it? Key and Hate That. Also spaceship themed, and they really just made it as simple as possible, but effective as possible. What do you think, guys? B for EXO? Is that fair for their MVs? Do you think it's good? For anyone who just joined in, we are just having a look at the ranking, not all of their MVs. I mean, maybe we can do a video where we really rank the top 10 MVs. Maybe we can do that for Christmas before 2022. Maybe we should make like a top 10 or top 2 or I don't know, top 20 videos. What do you guys think? Should we just make a poll maybe somewhere, and then I'll invite you all to choose your top videos based on you guys, and then we can yeah, share the results. I think it will be a really fun experience, you know, to see what you guys think. Maybe I can make a poll where we can talk about it. I don't have corona. I just have a really dry throat. I had corona. It was not fun, but stay drinking. It's really good. Oh, I love berry juice. So the next part, what we're going to be looking at, our next video, I want to change it up. I don't want to I want to mix it up a little bit. We're just going through it a little bit. The next one, I want to talk about BTS. Now, I know you guys are not a lot about that you're not all into BTS. I can totally understand that. That's totally fair. Some of you guys might even think, oh, they're just too big and they're famous. Let's talk a little bit about their MVs though. I'll come up with your suggestions next, no problem. But even if VAWR, sorry, VAR. Exactly. I mean, with Don't Fight the Feeling, I'll put it in a B. If it was Obsession, I'll literally give it an A because I thought it was a really sexy MV. But if we have to rank all their MVs together, I think it's B, and they could really work with it. Quickly, BTS though. Will Super Junior come in the list? It should be in the list. I saw it. Let's have a look. I mean, this is the list. I'm 100% sure that I had it in the list. One sec. If you guys see it, that would be fantastic. I have no idea where it is. This is just a mix of all the groups, but it should be here. There it is. Super Junior was at the top. Super Junior will come. But it comes a little bit later. We're doing literally bit by bit. BTS and V are not bad, but I don't like their music and how the group is set up. So, yes. Like always, you know, we need to split it. I don't know Feet Island. There are a couple there, like we're just, in case I don't know them. I mean, just an example. I don't know this BAP group. I'm gonna put them in the unknown group. I just don't know them, and I can't judge them. I think that's not fair and not really rightful, you know. And it's not. I mean, we could maybe go to them a little bit later. Maybe you guys know them, and then we can judge them. But for example, BAP, I've never heard of them, so we can stop. BTS. Their MVs are in very short, incredible. You can really see they have some good artists on there. They really make sure that all their MVs are top notch. Even their older generation videos. I mean, one of my favorite videos is literally Mic Drop. I think Mic Drop is, you know, one fantastic video because they really just touch all the good points on all the everything that you would want in an MV. Nice slow moves, very good shots on the choreography, very simple CGI, and I'll be honest, even their latest with what do you call that group? You Are My Universe. God damn it! Why do I forget the group's name? I even like them. Guys, with who did they work with to make My Universe? Coldplay. That was it. So Coldplay, I think this MV is fantastic. I think BTS really always have good MVs, and they always fit the mood of the music, which I think is very important. The song is always very easy to understand because of the MV. It really helps the group. It really, you know, sets the tone for who they actually are. And it also shows how powerful BTS actually is. I think it's so important that when you film a group that you make sure that that they film this accurately. It's important that you have to show how powerful a group is. Can you imagine if BTS all of a sudden shot a video in the same set as in the same concept as EXO? I'm not saying that EXO's videos are bad, that's not what we said, but it will pull them back a little bit because it's not really refreshing. We have seen the style of EXO more or less a lot of times already. And BTS, their goal is really just to make sure that they're always top notch. You know, they have to have the best of the best. You can see that, I mean, every time I look at one of their MVs, I can barely see anything that's wrong with them. I can barely see anything that is terrible with them. But at the same time, it's just a really, really fun experience to see what they have in their videos, because it's not just looking at someone who is filming BTS. You can see that a big team is behind them and supporting them. Now, you can say that this is unfair because most likely their budgets are bigger. And it's true, they most likely do have massive budgets. You know, they film in the USA right now, they film in different locations around the world because they have the budgets for it. And they're also working with international partners, of course, who are production houses that help them film. And it's just important that we understand that though, you know, you might not like the music, you might not like the group, I personally would have to give BTS, based on their MVs only, because they're quite flawless and they're 100% on point, and they really just show the power of the group excellently. I think they really just do a good job there and try to provide them the screen time that everyone needs. We also have some terrible videos. You know, for example, there was this version where they were singing in bed. I don't know if you guys know it or not with BTS. I thought this was really terrible. I thought it was really ugly. Luckily, this is not an MV, and if it was an MV, man, I would really just drag this down. Like, if we were basing it purely on that video, it would be literally F. I thought this was terrible. I thought it was lazy. They just made it quick. It didn't take them longer than 10 minutes to film. I was like, oh, sorry, gassy water. If you know, it takes them a little bit longer. It just didn't take them longer than 10 minutes to film the entire thing, because everything is one take, and it was just so lazy. But if we really have to focus on their MVs, and tell me what you guys think again, you know, we're sharing our opinions. I would put BTS literally on S. They really deserve it, and I would even claim that their fame comes from how these MVs were made. You know, it's purely how strong their MVs are, and they are powerful, they have good editing, it's on beat, it's the special effects, you know, sometimes are not even special effects, they go away from CGI, which I think is fantastic. It's a very fun time, guys. I have to quickly answer this phone call. I'll be back in literally 5 minutes max. Give me 1 minute, okay? Because I think it's important, because I think someone needs to pick up something from my house, and I don't want to let them wait in the rain outside, because that's terrible. Give me 5 minutes. But also tell me if this is fair, by the way, with BTS. Do you think they deserve an S or not? And just be open-minded about it, okay? Be right back. And I'm back. Give me 1 sec, guys. I need to put on my headphones just to make sure that you guys are all there. There we go. What did I miss? So, there's a lot of good groups. Only on MV, I understand you, but I can only give them an A. Feed Island just had a comeback 2 days ago, and Lee Hong Ki has a couple of MVs. I don't know them either, in all honesty. Never been a fan of BTS, and I've never watched their MVs, so I don't have an opinion other than that I don't like their fans. Again, we're not here, we cannot judge their fans. I just know that they can be very toxic, in all honesty. I think they're not, they are not really, let's say it like this. I've experienced the Blackpink fans, which are 50% male, even more. I think Blackpink fans are literally, from what I saw from my video, because I can see these statistics, like I can see based on my video whether you're male or female, and it's just interesting to see that with Blackpink, it's just funny that what was it? I think 70%, 80% of the people were male, and they really didn't like that I didn't like it. One of their videos, for example, with Lalisa. I think personally, if you don't know BTS, purely because of MVs, I'm just going to leave it on an S, because they are the highest standard, I think, at the moment. And it is something that is very important to understand, that if your standard is high, you need to keep it high. And I think it's just important for people to understand that when you watch, you know, I'm not trying to say that everyone is trying to be a BTS freak, let me say it like that. But it is important to understand that they have the highest standard, and that's why I'm going to keep it at an S. I think their videos are superior. They're really fun. You can learn a lot from them, and they always try to do something new. You know, they always try to go from a different angle, and they came very far. It's like SHINee. I mean, the first BTS video, I don't remember the song name in all honesty, but they really had a different tone. You know, a different tone a few years ago. Like literally, I think it was 2012, 2013. A video on MV from them, one of their first songs, and to where they got now, like my god, it really just went up in skill set. You know, it's impressive, and I think that's the most important. We all have to learn from our MVs, and you know, if we have to talk about EXO again, I'm giving them a B here, because we saw with Obsession they can make a good video, but if Obsession was not one of their songs and they didn't even make it, I would really just rank them down to C, purely because of the CGI being terrible. So they're really lucky, you know, that they had some of the skills that they had. Okay, do you guys agree? Do you guys not agree? Yeah, you know, the last video or the last song that I think BTS was really good. The last good song I think from BTS, and I'm being honest again, is On. On is literally the last BTS song that I thought was real true to BTS, and it held a bit of it held an impact. I think that was really their end of their game basically, and they stopped it. So with the last MV, I think I agree. I would not give it an S, but I would still give it an A, purely because some of the effects are just crazy. The thing that they really missed on is that they didn't capture any of the aspects that are important to Coldplay or BTS. When you look at BTS, it was always about the choreography and them working as a group, but here they did nothing where they were like as if they were not even together in the same location. It was really weird. It could even be that they filmed this in different locations. And then you had with Coldplay, normally it's always about the instruments playing and everything like that, but even that was missing, even that was lacking. And I thought it could be, yeah, it was just lacking a bit of, you know, like a wow factor. Like I watched it once, I was like, damn, those are really cool effects. Like those CGI elements were, they really put a big budget on it. If that CGI was an EXO would be ranked up to B or A as well, or even A most likely. Those CGI elements are perfect. And so here we're just talking about MVs alone. We're not talking about the music or not. We're really talking about whether the MVs talk purely, if they capture the group correctly, if the cutting is correct, the color grading is good. And I think that's very fair. Just MVs, so purely MVs. You know, we cannot judge the music because that's something that I don't want to judge. I'm not a music producer. I cannot say whether something is big or not, or something is good or not. But I do know when a beat is good. That's one thing that I am brought up with. I was brought up in a family of music, let's say, and I love good music. You know, that's all I can say. So I think this is fair so far. No, what we are, you know, we're going slow, but I think it's fun. I think this is a fun Sunday afternoon activity. What's the next one we should be looking at? Because we have a lot to look at. Should we look at... I don't know Girls' Generation. I've heard of them. I've heard maybe one of their songs as well, but I just never... I don't remember watching any of their MVs. I don't know Luna. Or do I? I need to double check this. Sonamo, we don't know. So I'm just putting some groups that I just don't know yet in there. What's next? What should we look at next? So we have... ATEEZ just released their MV. I thought that's going to be fun. TXT. I don't know TXT though. It's hard for me to just judge it. Where do we even see it? I don't know it. A-Pink Aspa. Let's see where that is. I've seen it. Where is it? We can do Aspa. Because it's more or less like the EXO group of but the female version. Let's have a look. Where is it? If you see it, then tell me. A-Pink. Is A-Pink actually that's true. We can look at the generation as well, but in all honesty, I don't understand the generations that much. That's a little bit of the dangerous thing that I don't want to get into. By the way, isn't A-Pink aespa? It's the same, no? Jelly Bee. I think it's the same group, correct? From what I remember. I know I read them also together in an article, but I just don't remember if it's the same. So it's not... Then I don't know A-Pink either, actually. Oh. I mean, it just shows how many MVs I still have to look at, you know, in the future. Where's aespa? I just saw them, but... Come on, where are you at? Red Velvet, Twice, Wonder Girls. I know the Wonder Girls are quite an old group as well. Where is it? I can't think of it. Winner, no. God damn it, why can't I find it? What's wrong here? What are we doing wrong? I can't find aespa. Oh my god. Dreamcatcher. To be honest, I have so many things that... There's so many groups I just never seen. And it's also very different to see their logos. It makes it so much more confusing. It's... Oh yeah, Dreamcatcher is there. But I don't know it, so I have to put it here. Sadly. But it is true, I cannot judge something that I don't know. Okay, let's go to something that I do know then. Let's go to VIXX. So... Let's go to my channel, actually. I think that's the best way to find out. See what I actually reviewed from VIXX. I know I looked at, I think, 2 of their videos. Videos? Can I search somehow? Here. VIXX. I remember this. This was a very artistic video. I thought this was with Shangri-La. Let's quickly go through it again. I need to turn off the sound just so I can go through it. I thought they had a very interesting video. I thought it was really cool what they did here, playing with different elements, with the water elements. I thought they were really exciting actually with what they did. And I've never heard of the group before, but it's for sure a group that I still want to look at. Now, their videos are not really super refreshing, purely because a lot of it is filmed in a studio. I wish that some of the things were actually filmed outside, maybe, in a real location. Oh, I can't even hear it. 1 sec. I want to... What can you work? And they play with different angles, which I also liked, for example, in the MV. I thought it was really cool. And they actually did make the most out of it in... they play with very unique angles, basically, in their videos, which I think is always exciting. It keeps it very fresh. It keeps it all unique. VIXX MVs were ahead of its time along with the concepts. You will love their other MVs too. I should really check out some of their other MVs. I do remember that I really liked them. I do, however, I think I also said this, that in some of these MVs, I wish they maybe filmed this outside somehow, you know. I think real life locations are 1,000 times better than fake locations, like other words, studio works. I think studios are a bit repetitive, you know, after a while. But what I think is really cool is as if we were living in a painting. You have all these vibrant colors that you see on in an MV, which are just nice. Again, it's just a lot of studio. However, they also kept some of here again. I'm just skipping through it because I need to remind myself what I was looking at. But I just also loved how minimalistic some of their MVs are. They kept the background, for example, always very clean, and they did a good job there, you know. They really kept it good. I would personally say if they maybe spiced it up a little bit, and maybe I didn't watch too many of their videos, I would give them a good, I would give them a B. Like I liked it, but this B is really dependent on their other MVs. I think their concept is really fresh. It's very unique. They try to make everything as minimalistic as possible, but they do some good elements with it, which I think is great. So for now, I'm keeping it into a B. I think that's a very fair score. And maybe in the future, I just hope that we can see something that's a little bit more than this, a little bit more oomph, a little bit more in your face kind of attitude that shows a little bit more power. Because a lot of these shots are a lot of beauty shots, and yeah, it's a little bit. We've seen it 1,000 times. Let's say it. It's a formula we see a lot. Next one, can be Super Junior, since you have checked quite a lot of the stuff. Yes, and I looked at all of the, not all of them yet, but I looked at some of their videos. I think Super Junior is kind of a funny group. They're very, I don't want to say very old. I just think they're very grown up compared to the rest of the groups. And where are we? There we go. Super Junior. We're going to put it on C for now. C is going to be our basics. So with C, Super Junior, where would I put them? I personally would say their MVs are really fun. They are enjoyable. There's 2PM as well. I saw it somewhere on the list. But they're there for sure. I know it. And I think their videos really fit their age. They're mature. They tackle mature topics. They tackle, they don't try to make you guess that something is sexy. They don't try to make you guess that, whether it is, going into a mature segment or not. But with Super Junior, they just go hit it. For example, that song Señorita, I think it was called, where they were singing with this Spanish chick. I thought it was really fun. That they tackle all these different elements where I'm like, man, this is just fun. It's just fun to watch them. It's like you're watching a series on Netflix where every time an episode comes out or an MV comes out from Super Junior, it's like, what are they up to now? What are they gonna do now? And I think they are really, really energetic. I mean, I can really say it that I don't really think they deserve an S, because they don't really dare to go do anything super, super crazy. But I do think they are really fun. And I'm saying A purely because they are super, super energetic. And I'm talking about a high A here. They're really close to S, but I still think, it's questionable. I think for their age, and they're still really hitting it, you know what? I'm going to give it an S. Because you have to look at it overall as well from the performance that they're giving for the MV. They're really doing stuff that some people in that age cannot do anymore, and it's still fun to see their MVs. They're energetic. They try to tackle different issues, and the storytelling, I think, is always easy to understand. You don't have to understand Korean, what's actually being told in that was it, Mamacita. Oh no, wait, Lo Siento, that was it. Yeah, I think she was Spanish. No, I don't really remember. I'm really sure that it was she was Spanish. Either way, I'm going to put them into an S because I think that, I'm just saying the word I think, maybe you guys might disagree. They really just try to tackle different scenarios, and they always try to do something fresh. And even when you were looking at their, the kids reacting to Super Junior, it's just fun to see how they always try to do new things and try to reinvent the wheel. I mean, even back then in 2011, they really, they really try to do the next thing and try to be ahead of their times. And I think that's important. I think without Super Junior, you wouldn't even have groups as BTS, in all honesty, with how they make their MVs. So this would be a Leslie Grace. I thought she was Spanish. I really don't remember, to be honest, who she was. I was more focusing on Super Junior. I'll be honest about it. Really? I thought she was from Spain. Either way, I'm going to put them in S because I think without Super Junior, you wouldn't have any of these other groups. They really set the standard with their MVs, and they really want to make sure that they are up there. And I hope they continue with, bringing in fresh ideas. And that's all I can say. That's all I can say for Super Junior. Exactly, they're still relevant, and that's something we cannot, forget. They are still leading with their MVs. They're still leading with their songs, even though we're not judging the songs today. When it comes to MVs, they still are leading, and it's just important that we bring that out, of course, Really? I thought she was from, I mean, I never looked into Leslie, but I thought she was from, I would say Central America, South America, or Spain. That's what I thought, because I was really focusing on Super Junior. But hey, look, every day you learn something new. That's always good, isn't it? But it is really, really fun just to see all these different groups, to see where they come from. And the one thing that I'm just going to point this out, that when I look at an MV, it's just always important that you more or less try to understand where did groups come from, where did they start, and where did they roll into. If you cannot do that, then I wouldn't say they deserve a high rating, because it most likely means that they had an idea that they saw from someone else. That's most likely the case, because in all honesty, a lot of K-pop videos, they rinse and repeat a lot of the same elements, which you know, you can like or dislike, but I always hope that more people try to stay fresh in their mindset. And Super Junior, you can say that all of their concepts come from their own designs, and that's good. They always try to make it unique for themselves. What do you think? S is fair, no? Do you guys agree? I think they deserve a really, really, really good S. I think you guys would agree with that. But Lo Siento was a really nice song. Really? So that is a bad word to say? I didn't even know that. I mean, I'll be honest, at least where I was brought up, and I have a lot of English friends, we use the word chick a lot. Again, it's just a cultural thing, I think, and see where you were brought up. You learn a lot from all different type of people. So, look, you learn it again. I didn't try to offend you or anyone else, but that's, you know, you learn those kind of elements. Sorry, I was also reading the second one. Since the last 2 years, you can see many similarities in K-pop MVs. It's very interesting, though, because I notice as well. Sometimes I look at MVs and I go, man, I've seen this already. Again, I've seen this one time. I saw this 2 times. I saw this 3 times. I thought it was really exciting, actually, to see what you get in MVs. And I think it's just really fun as well, you know, to see where MVs are bringing us today. And I think that's because, and I can only say it from experience again, maybe you guys are interested, maybe not. I cannot say it, but I'm just going to answer it anyway. But when you look at agencies, okay, when you look at, oh God, the music has stopped. Let's play cozy. There we go. When we look at what were we talking about again? Okay, locations. When we look at agencies, and I've worked with many agencies over the last years, and what I can say is that with agencies, it's always a bit questionable whether you, how do I say it? A lot of agencies just have a book. So in this book, do I have a book here? I'm trying to see. Doesn't even matter. I don't think it. What do you mean trend with locations? It's not that. It's more like SM Entertainment will have a book, and in this book, it would really just have a list of many locations. You know, they would just skip through it and say what will fit to the MV, what will not fit through the MV. For example, some of the videos that we saw with SHINee, that we saw with Taemin, I saw some similarities already, and some other groups, and with Kai, you know, they really share, for example, the same MVs. But I just want to say that they just go through them, because it's much easier to do this than pay someone to look for more locations. It's very, very expensive, and yeah. It's much simpler to do that, you know, just reuse the same locations, use different lighting. Lighting is very important, and like that you can, that's the best way you can do it. I stand Super Junior. If we talk about some of their older MVs, you might rank them lower, but since 2014 they changed a lot of musically, and it became more pleasing aesthetically. I totally agree. I think I said this already many times, but they're like wine. They aged well, you know, they aged really well with their MVs, and they became better and better with the time passing, which I think is very important. So I totally agree with you there, Ali. It's true. Okay, next one. What do we have on the list? We have so much to do still. Oh my God, can we even do this? NCT, what is this? I don't even know this group. Again, another one that I don't know. I'm gonna do a group that I did not review on my channel yet, and I watched some of their MVs, so I do want to rank it, and that's Big Bang. We're gonna leave them at C. I think with Big Bang, they are really fun to look at. I think their music videos are always a little bit over the top. They always go a little bit crazy. They're just energetic, and it fits them as well. I think, again, this is one of those groups that is just fun to look at, and you're always excited to see what's coming next. And with Big Bang, yeah, for example, one of my favorite MVs is Bang Bang Bang. it's just really fun to see what you can get out of it. You know, what can you get out of the out of an energetic song. And you know, let me say like this, when it comes to editing and some of the things, I think it's like, nah, okay, but what they do with the cuts and what they do with the music and what they do with the energy coming from it, I'm really just going to give Big Bang an A. I really think they're fun to look at, and they're really, really amazing. Just, I think they're energetic, they're great, they really just show. I will actually provide a Big Bang video soon, I hope. It's always on my list, I just didn't get to it yet. But I really want to have a look at Bang Bang Bang, for example. I think it's a really fun MV, and I'm going to give it an A. I'm just going to be very short about it. I think they're fun, they're energetic, and I don't have an example on my channel to go through it, because if I showed it, and they keep, and that's maybe the good way to say it, they really try to reinvent the way they can perform themselves. I don't know what their comeback song was. Like, if you want to just note it down, just do it. But they just have fun. That's the thing. It's not about the choreography. It's just about being crazy. And I like that. I like that they just go a little bit over the, you know, they just be themselves and just say, guys, we have a lot of money. Let's spend it on a fun MV rather than an organized MV. And of course, it's organized, but it's also a little bit hectic. I like a little bit of hectic. You know, it makes it a little bit more real. And that's the most important, of course, when you look at MVs. What is next? So let's go maybe with NCT. Okay, NCT I think is a very interesting group because we have so many different sections. NCT, where would I put them? Now, in all honesty, I think NCT, it depends on who you look at and what groups, but there are some MVs that I think are just super, super fun. Yesterday, I had to rewatch it, and I'm going to, for example, look at Work It. I think Work It was a really fun MV. And I really liked it, for example. I think it was joyful. It really added to the song as well. It told the story really good, and with the different elements and the CGI, keeping it minimalistic, and it all looked as if you were looking through a phone's perspective, which I thought was interesting and was unique, and that was really fun. Like, if it was that song, I would give them a good B and A. It wasn't all too clean, but what they did with it, I would give it a nice low A, in all honesty. But what was this group called? I need to think about it. Let's go back again. Let's have a little look. What we looked at NCT. They made a song. Kick It, I thought was really cool. Resonance was really cool. Make a Wish was one of those videos where I'm like, my God, what did they do with it? Why was it so lazy? Why are you filming in bushes? Like, it didn't really add anything to the story. It just seems very random in locations, because all of a sudden, for example, let me move my monitor a little bit. They how do I say it? It was just too random, and I don't really understand what they did there, in all honesty. Like, you had this Make a Wish, they had some scenes in the studio that was really cool, and then they had some scenes in a bush. Like, why was it in a bush? Were they drunk in a bush? But they were not drunk. They were just making some beauty shots, a little bit of, you know, some cool shots, but the location just didn't make any sense. For me, in all honesty, it seemed as if they just took a location because it's random, but it didn't really add up to the story. The first time I watched that MV, for example, I was a little bit confused because I thought, like, the members were just kidnapped. They were just kidnapped, and they just told them, hey, you better start filming now, and you better make the MV section here, and it seemed very forced. It didn't really make any sense. Now, yeah, The Sauce is another one of those MVs, so where is it? Funny. It was actually my 69th MV reaction. I don't even know how many reactions I made. It would be really cool if you guys can tell me how many MVs I did. Let's have a look through this again, okay? Let's not look at it. It was my old style. I thought this, for example, was just really, really... I thought this was really just... It didn't do anything for it. It just seemed as if they were focusing highly on the choreography, which I think is fine. I think songs with choreographies were cool. I just thought it was really just a... Yeah. It seems they like to mimic like a South American country, and it didn't really do anything for me. Like, locations were nice. The cutting was, I thought, minimal. It wasn't too crazy. Some of the CGI, again, skip it. Don't get CGI like this. I just don't do it. It's not really that good. Keep it like this. This was enough. Can you just imagine if this bottle was just not there? It would have been okay as well, no? It wasn't really just... It wasn't memorable for me. In all honesty, I don't remember the MV. It just says a lot. And I'm just going to say that for this MV, some of their MVs, it drags it down. So I'm just going to give it a B. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if I wanted to give them a C. I think some of their MVs are great. It's literally those MVs saving them, because some of the groups, it just seems like the different groups in NCT get different attention, which I think is a bit weird, especially if you consider them being one group. It would be cool if they could just make it very nice. I mean, that Renaissance video was very MV heavy, okay? Sorry, choreography heavy. But from an MV point of view, I thought that was much more interesting. It was more real. It was really just showing who the group is, rather than showing who the person is in the MV, you know? Or sorry, showcasing a great idea that was not even made by the group. It was just a little bit too random. And I think this randomness is just very important. You need to get rid of it, you know? You need to represent the group and not represent the idea of a creative, because if you go away with it, in all honesty, for example, NCT could literally be BTS if they focused their MVs a little bit better and made sure that they represent the members rather than just what the people above are saying. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think a B is fair or not? In all honesty, I don't think we're going to get any bad groups. Like, I like a lot of their MVs. Okay, there is one that I'm questioning whether we should look at it. Maybe people are going to hate me, maybe not. That's okay. We're here, you know, to stay open-minded. But for me, okay, that's I think how my list would look like for now. Like, what do you guys think? Like, correct? Not correct? Where would you place NCT? Would you place different groups in different segments? Would you place maybe them a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower? I'm curious about that. Again, we're really talking only about MVs here, you know, and some of their MVs are good. Some of their MVs are, I think, sloppy. Like, you can really see whether someone has influence in their MVs or not. So maybe you guys can tell me. It's always nice, you know, if we can share our opinions like that. That's always the main importance behind everything. How's the music, by the way? Is it nice and relaxing? I hope this is going to be a very relaxing Sunday, and I think that's the most important. ATEEZ is... Do you see? I don't know if you see my mouse. Do you see my mouse? It's right there. We can have a look at ATEEZ. But you guys agree with NCT? Because if you want, we can go to ATEEZ. ATEEZ. I'm going to be honest. There we go. You're late. You just wanted to know about SHINee. To give you a very quick feedback on what I think about it. So with SHINee, we think we're great. They always have fun in their MVs, but then you had some of those inconsistencies in their videos that I thought were a bit sloppy, and I pulled them down a little bit for that. Like, they could be S, you know, if they can continue, but there were just some small things where I'm like, you know, it's again, it doesn't really represent them 100%. Like, we had these great concepts in that Superstar MV, for example. They showed their hobbies. It was really fun to see it. It was like a little bit discovery, choreography. What do you call it? When they talk about people, doesn't matter. A little bit of like showing who they are as a group, but sadly they also have elements which were a little bit. It weren't edited that well, so for that we ranked it down to an A, and I think we thought that was a fair ranking. Well, okay, with ATEEZ, let's go back again. See, because I know that I looked at some of their MVs. ATEEZ. So let's just start off with the last MV that I and ended there. Actually, I think the last MV was just fabulous. I thought it was a really, really good MV. Very strong, very elegant, and everything was top notch. The editing, the color grade, it was just an overall fun MV to look at. Really, really energetic. The story was slowly progressing and slowly was able to capture some of the elements that I thought was very important. For example, you had the different groups, they were rivaling each other. They captured the dance choreography really cool. We had some mistakes, for example, here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you look in his ear, you can more or less see there are like these weird ripples, you know? Some really weird elements. And I thought this was a bit weird. I think this was because of the blinds behind them, but for the rest, I just didn't want to give points away. Everything was real. The locations were fantastic. The choreography was captured fantastic. The color grade is great. Even the CGI, you know, is spot on. I mean, look at these clouds. I mean, this is Seoul, I think that is so, because this is the highest tower, this is that mountain. But look what they did with some of the lightning, you know, it just looks really, really, really cool. I like ATEEZ MVs, not a fan yet. Like, what do you mean? Not a fan of their music, or not a fan of their MVs? I really, really enjoy 100%. Yeah, I really, really enjoy actually these kind of MVs from them. They're always fun. There's like a firework going off, you know. We're just waiting to see how they come out. Did they come out strong? Did they come out weak? It's just super fun to see, you know, what we can get out of it. And that's what I mean. I'm just going to give ATEEZ a beautiful A. I think they deserve this. And you know what? I'm even going to give them an S. I think they always got better with their MVs. It always went a step further. It always went a step better. And I hope it stays like this. The only way we can find out is we look at other MVs, of course. And maybe in the future, this can be ranked down, of course, again as well. Imagine if they all of a sudden make a terrible video. But in all honesty, I'm going to give ATEEZ an S. I think their MVs are really spot on. And they put a lot of effort in making sure that it's really correct, that it's really fun to watch and just energetic. I think that's just very important. And that's all I have to say actually about ATEEZ. I don't have to say too much about it. What do you guys actually think? Do you think that's a fair judgment? Do you think that's not a fair judgment? Tell me what you guys think actually. That's like I say, this is not only a my opinion channel, this is an our opinion channel. I'm able to say some legendary group with this group. What do you mean? That there's another group as legendary as them, or? The way you said it, yeah, ATEEZ just keeps getting better and better. And that's why, and I had to reconsider it. I'm just going to give him an S, because I think that you can be terrible at making MVs. The most important part is just that you keep on developing yourself. And you keep exploring what is possible, and that you get out of your comfort zone. In case you just joined in a little bit late, if we look at BTS, for example, BTS, they started somewhere and look at where they are now. And that's purely because they keep trying to develop where they can go to next. How can they make an MV a little bit more interesting? I mean, we can see, you know, for example, that song Permission to Dance. It reminded me too much of Justin Timberlake, to be honest. But they still went out of the way and tried to capture it in a sense of as if it was a BTS video. And they did it great. They had some elements in it that I thought was great. For example, those purple balloons. Small little hints, but they're good. And with ATEEZ, it's the same story, more or less. They keep trying to enhance themselves to get better MVs. So you watch ATEEZ MVs once and then you move on. I mean, it could be. I mean, if that's up to you, if you like just moving on, that's totally fine. I still think there are some MVs that I think are really good, and ATEEZ just makes good ones. If you look at some of the first MVs, for example, and then skip it to later, you can see that it's just going to be a fun exploration to see how people actually improved. It's always great to see where people were and where they are now. I think that's very important. It's the same goes for SHINee, same goes for Super Junior. You can have this long travel distance, you know. And if I don't even know what can someone maybe explain to me the different generations of groups? Maybe that will be super interesting actually. Actually, there was one group, SS501, actually a really good group. I just related these. I don't know why. I didn't even know there was a group. Why is it called SS501? That's that's just a little bit random. Like, how did they just bang their heads against the keyboard? I bet there's a reason behind it, but SS501. Actually, it sounds really cool. SS501. Very nice. Okay, what's next? What do we want to go to? Let's go to one of the bigger ones again. Let's talk about Blackpink, okay? Blackpink. When I got into BTS, I want to tell you a bit of a story, okay? And the moment I got in love with K-pop MVs, Blackpink is the second group that I encountered. I mean, I think that's the classical way, you know, first you get BTS or Blackpink, and then you go vice versa, and then you explore the rest. Blackpink to me is a interesting group, and I personally just want to say that I thought they had something good going, but after I saw the song Lovesick Girls, I was a little bit disappointed because, and it's not just with Blackpink. It's literally all the videos that are made by this label. I think they're very distracting. And their older MVs, you know, like do 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 do, and some of, you know, during that era, I thought the MVs were more or less okay. But then when we look at Lovesick Girls, it was just so random. It just they have so much going on that it's just confusing to see what happens. You have to pause, you have to analyze, you have to pause, you have to analyze, and I don't think that's really good for storytelling. I think a video, you should be able to watch it in 3 minutes and you're done. I think that's the most important. And I'm going to be quick about this one, actually. I'm going to give them a C. I'm not saying they're bad. I think their productions are high value. But here we just have the big issue that more is just not good, okay? I don't get the generations either. I know that there were some lists with generations. I just don't really get them, in all honesty. I just didn't understand it. But what I want to go back to Blackpink is that I hope, again, it's just a small hope, that I hope they just make things a little bit simpler, because I think it's fun to watch an MV, but you should be able to see everything in one go. And Lovesick Girls was really a testimony to me. And when we looked at it, you can look at my review, it's somewhere in my list. You can see that I thought it was just a bit confusing. I thought too much was going on and I didn't really grasp the situation 100%. It was a little bit confusing, and I don't understand what they were going with it, because all of a sudden there is a crashed car and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden it's crashed. And they skipped it. Like, no, they didn't skip it. They went basically over it within what was it? I think with like 3 shots or something. It was just so tremendously quick, and I thought it was just not very clever the way they captured it. But then again, I bet they have this syndrome where they filmed a lot and they want to utilize and use a lot of these shots. I don't think this is very cool, very practical. Let me say it like that. Also, on the top of that, I just want to say that it's kind of cool that you guys are also talking amongst each other. I think that's fine. I mean, like I say, it's just fun, you know, that we can, you know, share our opinions while we're in chat. That's what I want to do. And guys, I'm working on it. I want to do monthly. I want to do weekly streams or bi-monthly streams, like once or twice a month. I think that will be really fun, and where we can just talk about these kind of things and these elements freely. And I think you guys like it, no? I mean, how many people are watching now? I think like 15, 20 people. Small community, but it's fun, no? And it's cool that you guys are also talking amongst each other and, you know, sharing ideas in groups. I mean, some of these things are also new to me, but that's what I wanted to achieve. So it's really cool. So next one, ONEUS. Where is it? Do you see the logo somewhere? ONEUS, 2 a.m. Man, it's just so confusing to see some of these groups, you know, like this. Is it not here? They should be here. I was sure that I put them in. Guys, do you see it? ONEUS. Could be that it's literally missing. I don't remember actually now. Do you guys see it? Actually, it's all thanks to you. I mean, you guys are here. You know, without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. So. I think that's the best way to look at it. I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger. Make it a little bit more personal. There we go. Thought I was a bit small on screen. I can't see ONEUS though. Like, do you guys see it in the list or not? 2 a.m. ASTRO, Wannabe. No, 101. Black Bee. My man. Sometimes it's just annoying, you know, that we go randomly through the list and you can't find what you're looking for. Do you guys see it? Do you see ONEUS or not? Tell me. I can't find it. For the time being, if I can't find ONEUS, I do want to say they are great. I like their MVs. I like the styles that they're going with. One sec. Let's have a look at it. ONEUS. They always go for these really creepy themes. You know, here we have some examples, for example. I think they try to make it very theatrical, and I don't see it either. It's really weird. I cannot add anything either, which is a little bit... Wait, presentation mode? Whoa! I didn't even know you could do this. Wow, that's actually super cool. Anyway, I cannot see it. I cannot see ONEUS either, which is a little bit of a shame. But I'll anyway put my rating, okay? I think ONEUS is an interesting group. I need to put on my headphones again because I need to listen. And we can go slowly through it. But for ONEUS, because you're asking it and it's not on the list, we have, for example, this video, To Be or Not To Be. I thought it... Okay, this video, that was my old setup. Really, really cool. Some very interesting shots that we have here, but there's one problem that I think that has ONEUS is that they're still playing it in some elements safe with some heavy editing, you know. And there were also some scenes that made no sense. For example, here, you know, really bad acting. I think they can maybe go next level with their acting a little bit. They can actually go improved a bit because they look a little bit high here. It was a little bit out of place for this MV because it looked as if they were having a serious dinner. Because here you can see this facial expression. It looks a little bit like a grim laugh, you know, like, You know, it's a little bit more serious. But here it just became a little bit awkward. And this is something that I saw repetitive with... that's cool. Superstar Singers 501 means 5 united as one. That's really clever, actually. You see, there's always a reason, a meaning behind a name. And with ONEUS, let's go back to the list. Where is it actually? I don't have it. Oh, I forgot that I don't have it. But with ONEUS, I think it's... let me move it a little bit more to the side, actually. I think that's better now. It's a questionable thing. For me, I would give it a B, a low B or a C, because you can see it's a group that is trying to explore themselves, but I really have a feeling that in the future, they will improve themselves. They're still a young group. I still think there's a lot of room for them to improve themselves, and I think that's the most important. It's just important that we can see them that they're trying as hard as possible. I think some of the elements in their MVs are crazy. For example, there's a lot of blood, there's gore in this MV, but some of the editing is also very nice. The color grade is also really top-notch if we just skip through it. Except for, again, here it's a little bit warm, and then here it's a little bit colder. Maybe they could have done more or less the same color grade because it looks like the same room, actually, funny enough. Color grading is very tough, but I will give it a high C, low B, because I think there is a lot of room for them still to improve themselves. You want to do ASTRO? Do we even have ASTRO? Day 6, Stray Kids. I saw ASTRO somewhere. I just don't remember where. Where are they? You can really just see, even though this list is massive, we were still missing. We're still missing people. Damn it! I don't think ASTRO is on here. No, maybe it is. I cannot say. I think some are missing still. I really thought I had everything. But I don't. 5th first row. What do you mean with that? I don't really understand that one. 5th first row. So I cannot find Astro. Thought I had it. Oh, there it is. I found it. All good. Never mind. I'm just a little bit blind. I'm getting older, guys. I'm sorry for that. Let's go back again. Let's see what we reviewed so we can actually have some fair examples. So ASTRO to me is again one of those interesting groups. When I watched their MVs for the first time, I think they're very theatrical. I think this is really fun, and they tried to do it a little bit refreshing, and I thought this was very good. So with ASTRO, they don't just try to capture an MV, they try to capture an experience, and they really do it well. For example, Burn the Floor. Wait, no, that's Super Junior. There we go. Yep. Really cool. That's my intro. Was that actually them? I need to have a little bit of a look. That was it. Sorry, I was confused with groups. But with ASTRO, what I liked about them is these certain elements where they went onto the beach and they actually went out to explore certain elements. I thought this was really cool, really refreshing, and also really fun to look at, actually. Like, it was just, it was interesting what they were doing here. So purely because they go to the beach and it looks like they're actually having fun, I'm going to give them a good score, because I still think that going in real locations is very important. When you see them smile is also very important. You need to have fun with your characters. You have fun with your people that you're filming. And all the elements were very fitting. For example, here you have the wood tones that fit with the beach. They fit, with the different areas. Really, really important. And they were also really fun to see what they were doing. I know here with the suitcases, they open up and then some CGI came out there. Again, guys, don't do CGI if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I got Astro already. I already put it to C. But CGI is something, it can destroy an MV very quick. Here they tried to minimize it at least a little bit, because here the suitcases open up, for example. It looks good, but it looks a bit weird at the same time, because if it was windy, it would have maybe been cooler if they were, I don't know, maybe put paper in there, or like a little bit of an explosion with confetti, something like that, you know, something to play around with it a little bit more. CGI, I think, is just something that you should stay away with. Again, the color grade, I think, is fantastic. Some beautiful colors. It gives me, maybe it's something weird to say, a bit of a boy love feeling, like really good friends, you know, going on a trip. I think that was really cool. And the elements are cool. All natural lighting, really, really fun to look at. Some scenes I thought was very extreme because it went away from a studio into the open. I thought it was very nice of a transition. But why not just do everything outside? Go away from studios and keep it natural. I think that would have been a little bit better to the theme. And purely because of that, I'm going to give Astro a good B. I would give them an A if they maybe swapped a little bit more locations. Everything was at the beach. Maybe it could have been a little bit nicer if they, like I said, the first shots were in real life rooms, hotel rooms, or something like that. That would have been nice. A little bit of a fun fact again. If you're looking for a nice location to film that's always clean or anything similar, you can always just rent a nice hotel room. Normally hotels are very lenient and they would give you a very nice rate if you're there for a couple of hours, for example, to say you want to film a scene, they would give it to you. So if you want to do a music video, rent a hotel room for a couple of hours and you will get a very nice location. Very, very nice actually. Very fun as well. Yeah, what do you guys think? Is that a fair judgment for Astro or not? Do you think that's good comparing their MVs? I think the music is very uplifting. I think that's fun. That's a different story, however. We're only looking at MVs. But I think that's very fair, no? I think that's a very fair assumption. I think this is good. This is really good. It's so weird, though, that we have BTS on S, we have Blackpink on C. Like, very contradicting if you look at some other lists. But I thought it would be interesting to point it out. I think it's always interesting to point out some of these elements, you know? But what do you guys think? Do you think the list so far is quite accurate or not? Like, would you change anything around or not? Just tell me. You know, like I say, this is an us channel, not just a me channel. I am biased, but they deserve higher. Other groups got better with only studio locations. It's true. I get what you're going with, but there's one thing that you need to remember, that when you look at studio locations, it's just important that, how do I say it? It needs to look believable, if that makes sense. For example, here we have the studio and it looks good, in all honesty. You know, it's a nice little location, but some of the elements I thought were, like, if we compare the first scenes, okay, I think it's cool. It just wasn't really upbeat cut, if I can say it like that. Like, there was something that I thought, I mean, can we look at it a bit? I hope we don't get cut, but... let's go through it a little bit. I think the song was really good. I just think that my problem is after midnight, nothing is filmed at night. Does it add to the story? This is the only MV I can rate, if that makes sense. Okay, I don't want to I maybe have to look at some more of their MVs, but based on this MV, it was a bit of a missed idea of what they're going for. You know, after midnight to the moonlight. I don't really see any moon. I see a beach. I see them having fun. But I don't really get what they were going with. For example, here I understand it with the blue. Let me explain it a little bit again. Where are we? The blue makes sense. This blue light is quite common if you, if you shoot at moonlight conditions. But it's just remembering that, you know, we have a song called After Midnight, and then they don't have a midnight. You know what I mean? They don't have it. Exactly. So that's the reason why I'm giving them B. I still think there's some room for them to improve themselves. And I hope they do. I hope they just really... I doubt that they're going to look at my video and go, oh yeah, he's so correct, blah, 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 blah. Of course not. But for me, there's just some room for them, you know, to play with the title a bit more. You know, if you have something called After Midnight, film at midnight, film at night, film where there's a big moon, for example. Make it a little bit romantic. Play a little bit around with it. Really? It is true. I did forget. There is actually a midnight. No. It's a true point. You know, we're here to... Let's have a look at it. So, they're sitting at the fire. Is there a moon? Come on, give me a moon. I want the moon. Come on, give me it. They don't have a moon. Come on. After midnight. At the moonlight. You know, it's a bit... questionable. ATEEZ is higher than SHINee. No name, you have to remember that we're only looking at MVs. We're not looking at their songs. Remember that one. Purely MVs, nothing more. We're not looking at the skill set in singing or anything like that. We're really just saying... Really, we had no fandom wars though. I think we're all good. Never mind, our last ONEUS is either the first or the second row. Let me have a look. Do you see it or not? Like, I have it here, but I cannot see it either. I remember that I had it, but... I really can't find it. First one or the second row? I don't even use Twitter. I really just don't like Twitter, in all honesty. I think Twitter is a bit of a weird system. That's just my opinion. I just don't get it. I think Twitter is not a big thing in Europe, in all honesty. It's just something I just don't understand. But fandom wars, okay. I mean, start one. I don't really mind. You know, the idea is that you're a bit open-minded about when you look at different groups. And here there is literally no war. We don't have wars here. Like, literally, I'm actually amazed that people are not upset about how we go through this list. I mean, we had people that love SHINee and we put them on A, and that's okay. It's funny, though, you know, you're the first one that got a little bit upset about it. But again, we're only here looking at MVs. We're not here looking at anything else. And the main reason why we put ATEEZ on the front is because they have gotten so far from their first... from where they are. Every MV with them gets better. Every MV they learn from in their past, and they try to make it a little bit more exciting for the rest. SHINee, I think, still needs to improve themselves. I mean, the reason why I think with Don't Call Me was a really good MV, but if you look at it later, they had this other video with what do you say it, Superstar, whatever, where they had is that even the song name? I keep saying Superstar, but I think that's correct. But it was a circle on white. Really, a circle on white? Man, I don't even know their logo. That's the problem. I don't... Circle on white. I don't see it. I must be going crazy. Maybe when we empty the list. It's not about Atlantis. Atlantis was good. The only thing is that... Again, we're talking about Superstar. We're really focusing on that. I think Superstar was a little bit random, in all honesty, that they had really good MVs. And if you think about it, Superstar was an MV that I think they could have maybe done better. No, Don't Call Me was just so much more cinematic when it came to the MV. And they it's as if they really just decreased the budget by 90% or something, and they made that MV. It was a little bit questionable what they did here. Second row. So I have ATEEZ and Flying, Got 7, 2 PM, Highlight, Born to Beat. What is this? I don't know this. B1A4, Island, Con Blue, CN Blue, Victon. Which one is it? Tell me. Maybe I'm completely blind about ONEUS. Second row. Am I blind? Is it this one? Like, maybe their logo. Let me have a look. ONEUS. What's their logo? I need to check their logo. I'm sorry, guys. Logo. Wait. What? It's the circle? Which circle? Why don't I see it? Am I blind? Yeah, I know they released a lot, but maybe they should have released less. As stupid as it sounds, but keep it a little bit more focused, you know, and take it easy. Less is sometimes more. We don't need people to have a burnout, you know? Yeah, it's actually terrible, you know, if you think about it. By the way, guys, I still don't see the logo. Am I crazy? Maybe I am crazy. Because this is the logo. I can't find it. I thought it would be this one, but no. It's something with a circle. Doesn't matter. We'll find it, guys. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's go with the next one. Stray Kids. Stray Kids is a bit of an oddball. Stray Kids is really one of those oddballs. I think some of their MVs are really good and really interesting, and then some of them are just a bit awkward. Like, let's have a look at them. So, for example, Backdoor. Backdoor, I think, is one of the first MVs that I checked out, okay, on my channel. And I was just in love with it because I thought it was just so creative what they actually did here. And then sometimes they produce MVs where I'm like, that's a little bit weird. So with Backdoor, I would give it a good low B. I think it's a good B. It's really fun to look at. It's exciting. It plays with the environment. It plays with the choreography, and the choreography is a little bit artistic. I think this is really cool. Yeah, I just did. ONEUS logo. This is the logo, like a circle. But I can't see it here. Am I completely blind? I'm looking at everything that's circular. B14. I can't see it at all. Maybe I'm just going crazy completely. Maybe you guys see something that I just don't. Could be, actually. I don't really know. My point is that, let's go back to Stray Kids. They have some really cool... let's go back a bit again. Sorry, that was mine. Stray Kids. Oops. So, Stray Kids. I think their MVs are really interesting. Not sure about the criteria. Did all the groups release MVs this year? Is it for Korean and Japanese? It's either all of them, actually. We're quite open to it all. I'm trying to stay away from certain groups, but it's only MVs. We're not looking at anything else. We're not looking at years. We're not looking at this year. Even though we're, I'm planning to do a what do you call it? A questionnaire where you guys can basically say what you want to have, what you think are the best MVs. You know, that would be fun to see. Maybe the best MVs of 2021, and we can do an amazing reveal on 2021 before 2021. Nope. So for SHINee, we actually looked at quite a lot of MVs. We went everything from Superstar to the last one to the last one to what do you call it? Damn it, I can't think of it. Lucifer. We went all the way back to the beginning. And that's what I said about SHINee, is that they developed themselves really heavy. They stay true to their roots, and I'm just saying it really quickly. They stay true to their roots. They really enjoyed getting where they wanted to be, and you can still see it. The only thing that I hope that they improve is that it becomes a little bit more explosive. They you know, a little bit more like, I thought they did a good job with with Don't Call Me. Very intense, very nice, very, you know, on beat, and some of the effects were fantastic. The cuts were really good. I still hope that they showed some elements, for example, you know, wider shots of the choreography when you have more dancers. I think it's still personally a little bit rude if you only miss out on some people. You know, there are small things like that, and I hope they just get rid of them. And if they get rid of them and make their next MV really explosive, especially when Taemin comes back, it gets better. You know, they need to bring it up a step a little bit more, just to one time correct. They really put a lot of focus on it. So like in Atlantis, don't get confused, we're still looking at the logo from ONEUS. I really don't see it. The last, is it this one? No, that's, I can't even see that. I must be going crazy. I don't really get it. Maybe you guys see it that I don't. That's true. By the way, I think it's a good time quickly. I want to quickly share with you again, for anyone who's interested, if you do want to support the channel, we offer the Patreon here. Quickly want to share with it. We have 3 tiers, everything from €1.50 a month all the way to €5 a month. If you do want to support the channel, you are very well, I will thank you a lot, actually. It's something that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to do YouTube, actually, for the last couple of hours. If I say that, you know, after all the full year that I put into it, actually, from now on, it would be very helpful. And let's see where we can do this. I want to make this, maybe I'm the only channel that's this open-minded about a lot of these things, you know. I want to make this a place where people can really just bounce heads against each other without hating each other. So if you do want to, come check out the Patreon. I think there's a link down in the description below, and I will be very grateful. It would be really awesome. And our goal is to get 20 Patreons by 2022, the start of it. And maybe you guys want to join in, you know, it will be really, really cool. And of course, I'll put all the money back into the channel. And like I say, let's make this a channel, not about just, you know, people saying, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. But I do want to say, we're here to say we're open-minded about everything. Alrighty, let's get back into it again. Go back. Okay. Monster X. Wait, Stray Kids. I forgot to do them. So Stray Kids, what is very interesting is that I think they have some very interesting videos. I think they're good, but at the same time, some of the videos are a little bit sloppy. And I think this is the problem with Stray Kids. They have some great ideas, and I need to go back to I think Mirror was really cool, actually. I think that was a really, really, really good MV. You know, it had some really good storytelling, very nice and long. And then you have, for example, No Easy, where I thought the MV and the making of it was really cool, very interesting. But they just have some sloppy elements, for example with Backdoor, where the cuts were just not perfect and not really on beat, and they just finished it in a rush. It just shows that some of these videos were, you know, sloppy, and that's how I have to say it. Like, I hope that they just get a different production house, which is just a little bit more accurate, and they have a little bit more time to edit some videos, because hey, I don't want to go out and pause every time I see something bad. And I know this from memory. Like, I don't have any sorry, my nose is really itchy. I don't have any hard examples right now, but Stray Kids is something that I always notice there's something wrong with it, and I just need to point it out. It's sad. I hope they put some more time into it. So I'm going to leave it at C, actually. So there's a lot of room for them to improve themselves. I love their concepts. I love their dance choreographies. I love their music. I think it's really, really cool. I think their song with God's Menu was really, really awesome, actually. I liked it. I mean, God's Menu is top notch for me. That will get an A. It fits the beat. It fits the music. Some of the elements I thought were, you know, questionable, but then you also had some elements in it I thought, like, maybe they could have made it a little bit tighter, a little bit more sexier, if I can say it like that. And then for that I would give it a B. But for some of their MVs, they should just focus a little bit on, you know, things they can improve, you know, make it more consistent, make it a little bit more. Can you include them now? Can I include who? What are we talking about? So I would say a C, and I hope that in case they do watch this, that they have some opportunity to actually improve themselves over, you know, the next years, because again, it's a young group, and everyone has to start somewhere. I think that's the most important. That's the most important. Why is my nose so itchy? Ah, it's like dust. I don't know what it is. I think I'm blind too. I think everyone is blind. I think this list is just confusing, to be honest. To be honest, it's a bit crazy. Alrighty, who's next? I don't know. Winner. I don't know. I know them, but I never looked at them. Black B. I mean, there's a lot of groups that I just didn't look at yet. Let's just go clean it up a little bit, okay? I don't know. There's one sec, guy. The Boys, I heard of them. SE9. Did I look at them? I don't think so. Who is this? Pentagon, Day 6, I don't know. 2 p.m. we have Highlight. Born to Beat, I don't know. Don't know them. 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 Sorry, guys. I'm just going to quickly clean this all up because maybe you guys know of it. But Crystal Clear. Miss A. Sister. I do know them, but I just never looked at them yet. Of any of their MVs. Same for Wonder Girls. Cross Gene. What is this? EO? Twice. Red Velvet. Monster X. Let's actually do Monster X before we clean up a little bit more. Monster X. Let's see what we actually have some proof of, you know, because I don't want to monster. So, Shootout, for example. Man, vocal rankings. TXT. Oh. Where do you see it? TXT, the blue one, no? Let me have a look. Blue logo is TXT, third one. I just had it, no? Oh, God damn it, here, TXT. Don't know them then, so I cannot really judge them. So anyway, I would say let's continue with Monster X. So Monster X, I think, have some really... Again, I think they're really good, actually. I mean, in short, if I had to rate them really quickly, I'll give them a good BA. They have some really good MVs. I think they're... Let's just go through it, actually. I think some of their locations are fantastic. I would even rank them, you know, maybe an BA out of what I have. They have a good storytelling. They really like to go and look at different perspectives, which I think is refreshing. I think some of the dance movements are also super nice. They're trying to keep it very, very simple, very cool. Can you just imagine that my MVs used to look like this, actually, or my reviews? So different, no? The second one. Okay, hold up. This one, TXT. Oh my God, that's TXT. Okay, I don't know them either. The logo is super cool though, but I would have never guessed that it was TXT. I mean, now that you say it, I thought it was plus times plus. Back to Monster X, they try to really just capture elements through different perspectives. They have some really nice close-ups, really cool angles, and it's nice. They really just play with the atmosphere, you know, they play with the elements they have. And I think this is very important when it makes MVs. I would not rank them an S because I still think there's some room for them to improve as well. I think a lot of these newer generations have a lot of room to improve. But for me, I'm going to say, in all honesty, let's bang them up here, actually. I think they are really good. It's a low A, high B. What do you guys think? Where should we put Monster X? I'm going to ask you guys. Lupita. Where would you put it? Oh, who said that again? Yeah, Lupita. I mean, they're very good MVs, don't get me wrong. Fa-la-la-la, fa-la-la-la, fa-la-la-la-la-la. Like, look at these angles, Josh. You know, they play with shadows, they play with emotions. They really know how to capture different elements, you know, in their MVs. I think this is fantastic. And I do hope that they are having fun, actually, on their MVs. But guys, tell me what you think. Maybe you know it better. What are we ranking Monster X purely basing their MVs? I'm also thinking a B or an A, like either a high B, you know, or a low B, low A. It's difficult because I like their music a lot. I think their music is really good. I just think that the MVs can support it maybe a little bit more intense. Again, you know, some of the Monster X music is very explosive. There's a lot of bang, 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 you know, going on nonstop. And they capture it, but maybe that needs a little bit more up-tempo, if that makes sense. What do you guys think? By the way, are you guys enjoying the stream? That's also very important. I hope you guys are. I mean, we had some good moments actually during this stream. I mean, we have approximately always 10 people watching, which is really fun. Thanks for all being there, of course. And I have one more question actually to you guys that I'm thinking of doing. You see, I think Patreon is very interesting. I like it, but I also think that maybe it's easier if I start making a YouTube community where people can, you know, subscribe there for exclusive content, and people who register can join into these small little things, you know, just to make sure that we keep the toxic people outside. I know there are people also sometimes live streaming, and then a group of haters would just come in. So maybe not now, maybe in the future we can do that. What do you guys think? Should we make that? You know, you can become a YouTube special member, and then we can get your benefits going there as well. What do you guys think? Do you think that's fun or not? I need to hear your opinion, of course. I think I'm going to leave Monster X at B. I think that's the most appropriate from all of them. It's good, it's clean, makes sense. Actually, I did know it. And that's not even a joke. I did know, now that you say it, I didn't know that TXT was actually Tomorrow by Together. I didn't know that, but I know Tomorrow by Together. I know that they are a subgroup from BTS. The only thing is that it seems like the focus is purely on BTS. You know, it's not on the focus is not on them as much. At least that's what I presume, because if you look up them, I think you know what I mean. I'm gonna leave Monster X at B. I think that's a fair point. What's next? Pentagon. I didn't look at any of their MVs, so I cannot judge them, but I do know them. So I saw their MVs, but I never analyzed it. Let's see what's next. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. I did check out. Let's see what we have. We have 2 p.m. What is 2 p.m. again? I need to quickly check it out. Oh, it was this video where everything was just going completely crazy, and it's about a woman's perfume and everything. Some really crazy effects. The great thing about this is that they actually used real elements. They didn't use any fake elements for their MV. Some elements, of course, were CGI, but a lot of it were actually practical effects. Like, for example, here we had some explosions with dirt in it, and I liked that. I liked that they played around with different elements, and I think they're the only group that used these kind of practical effects from what I remember. Like here, for example, everything is exploding, but they're real particles flying everywhere. Of course, maybe some CGI, but in my opinion, the story was clear, very good in understanding, actually. And I didn't look at all their MVs already, and of course, here we have some CGI. It's not the best, in all honesty, but they made sure that everything is still very clean. Everything is still very elegant when it comes to the end production. So for me, in all honesty, 2 p.m. it gets a very easy B. They really deserve a good B. It's clean, it's great. iKON, I need to check it myself as well. I think I did. Yeah, I did Love Scenario. I need to see, what is the iKON logo? Isn't it? No. Is this it? I think that's iKON, no? The red one. Of course, you never know at the end of the day what the goal was, you know, of one sec. I cannot judge all the work. All I can say is I can judge the final product, and I think that's the most important, because maybe this is the way I was brought up, you know, maybe this is not the education that I had, but the way I work in my surroundings over all my career. When we finalize something, whether it is a project, you always want to make sure that you gave your 100%. However, sometimes, of course, you also have the idea that, or I have the idea that they rush things, and that's because I know the Korean atmosphere. I've worked with Koreans now for 4 years. It's very rushy. Sometimes they'll be like, you know what, it's okay, let's just continue. They will not see it anyway. And I think this is a little bit stupid, because if you bring this mentality to Europe and a lot of, like, for example, Germany, it doesn't really work out. And I still think that I'm okay with sometimes saying, you know what, it's fine the way it is. But when you have 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, 50 million people following you on YouTube, it's important that you get it 100% correct. And this is something why I have to give groups like BTS credit. They know that they need to, they know they have a big following, and therefore they need to make sure that the productions are high end. Some of these are still maybe questioning whether their fans care, but in all honesty, I think there are fans that would care about whether a production is good or not. And it's time for them to pick up their game if they want to become bigger than what they are already, because that's just a very important. But it's true, you know, it's all subjective, of course. I was not with them on set. I would love to be on set, you know, for example, with SHINee maybe one day, if it's possible. But who knows? That's only possible if what I say is maybe correct, maybe not. I know there's also another YouTuber out there who reviews... he also reviews, what do you call it? MVs from a video maker perspective. I think he's also really cool, but he doesn't really touch point on things that he should be touch pointing on, especially if you're reviewing something. If you review something, it's your job to actually check whether something is correct or not, and you shouldn't really skip things. So, you know, it's all judgmental at the end of the day, but it should not be ignored still, you know, that's the main importance. I mean, theoretically, I could put everything, and I know that some YouTubers would literally put all of them on ASSSS. I don't think that's really fair, and I don't think that's realistic either. That's my personal opinion, of course. I would say let's continue. Where's iKON? Isn't this it? Isn't this iKON? Don't know them. 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 Oh my god, how many groups are there that I don't know? Sorry guys, I'm also cleaning up very quick. Rainbow. Sacred. Don't know that. Fiestar. Don't know. At least I just cleaning up very quick to see what we have left actually. Stellar I didn't do, but I know them. Miss A. Man, I have so many group stills, you know, to look at. Hey, look, if that will happen, that will be amazing. No, I mean, you need to keep your heads high. I've always worked for my goals, and my goal is to maybe in the future, you know, create a full-on MV, because I've did an MV in the past. I didn't edit it, sadly, but I wish I did, because I'll tell you the honest truth about it. I was working on a project, so I was filming and I was directing basically a music video for someone out of Russia. He was a new rapper, and I was like, you know what, no problem, let's make a cool MV. We have one day to film it, so we took a city to film it, and the video became awesome. Not the video, sorry, the results of everything I filmed, awesome. The way they filmed it, I thought was a bit sloppy, and I gave them my feedback. They just didn't even care about it. And I was like, guys, it's really just terrible what you guys are doing. For example, there was a video segment where instead of just slowing it down nice and gradually, that fit to the beat, because the beat also went like, you know, the beat just went slowly out. They went, while the beat was going, you know, it didn't really make sense. That was a bit sad, I would say. And what can I say? You know, I can only give my opinion, and that's all I can do. But maybe people would be interested in the future. I still think it's important that you basically give your opinion, no? Okay, we're just cleaning up a little bit, okay? Let's see what I do on Kara. I'm actually looking for ONEUS. It's literally not here. Don't know this. UKISS. No. Very. My. There's so many groups I just don't know. 101. I think this is iKON. iKON, I wanted to give them a grade. I want to give them a B. I thought they were... Let's go back again. But why do you prefer TXT over BTS? Just tell me. That would be... When I mean they're unknown to me, I just don't know them, in all honesty. I don't know whether they're famous or not. I bet there are some groups that are big here. I just don't know them, so I cannot really judge them. That's the only thing I can say. In all honesty, it would be great, though, in the future. Like, I don't know what's possible. Like, maybe, of course, we need maybe we need the full channel to do this. What about if we all just write an email to SM Entertainment in the future? Maybe let's do this if we got, let's say like this. Once we reach 4,000 subscribers, okay, we're all going to write an email to SM Entertainment. I mean, just imagine that's 4,000 emails, and we're all requesting for me to join maybe on their sets. What do you guys think? I would fly over there and really give you guys feedback on how much effort goes into these MVs. I really want to showcase this to you, because I think some guys don't even know how tough it can be, you know, to be on set. And I think it will be a great experience. And I don't have to speak to Taemin in all honesty, or any of the other members. That's totally fine. But that would be really just a dream come true. Maybe we can do this in the future. 4K subscribers, okay? So it's a little while to go. Maybe next year, maybe in 2 years, maybe after the pandemic. But man, that would be cool, no? Let's do that. Let's do it all together. I can only do this with you guys. AOA, don't know them. 1 minute, don't know them. Momoland, I looked at them. I know I did at them. We can actually rate Momoland. Let's go back to a girls group. Wait, I didn't review them? I know I looked at their video. Maybe I reviewed it, I just didn't edit it. Red Velvet. I did them for sure. Red Velvet. So the Red Velvet MVs are very interesting, okay? I think they are very good. I think Red Velvet really deserves a beautiful A. I only looked at Psycho, but I know Psycho is a very good reference point, because this is also where they base a lot of their MVs on. Their MVs are very, you know, story driven, which I think is very important. And because of this, I just want to say that, hey, I'm going to give them an A. I think their videos are really good. That's all I can say. They are very detailed. They try to go deeper than just a story. They like to play again with different angles. For example, with Queendom, what I really liked is that they teleport actually around. They like to play around, of course, with different elements. And they also try to play with different effects. And also, again, some people say that only because it's in the studio, they... my throat is a bit dry. Only because it's in a studio, it makes it bad. No, of course not. I think a studio is good, but it's not the most important. It's important that you play with the elements you have and try to keep it as clean as possible. And with Red Velvet, they really understand it. Let's actually go. I remember Psycho out of my head a lot, but they really just try to go play with different angles. Again, studios, but it looks very clean. Nothing too crazy going on. Keeping the color combinations very clean. Very good. Very nice. Some of their elements I thought were also a little bit over the top, of course, with color changes. Like here, all of a sudden go to a very green. But then again, it's still very much okay. They tried to make the most out of it. It's not the most refreshing, if I'll be honest, but they try to keep it as clean as possible. I'm still thinking now whether it should be an A or a B. I still think they can improve themselves a little bit more. But in all honesty, I'm going to put them on a B, because Red Velvet really set a standard for me. And Queendom came out afterwards, if not mistaken, and they went a little bit backwards. I thought Psycho was a beautiful MV. It was really, 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 really good. And Queendom actually pulled it down a bit. So I think they can go back again, you know, to making good MVs if they want to, of course. Again, for anyone who's new to the chat, move my mic a little bit. For anyone who's new to the chat, again, we are looking at MVs. We're not judging any of the musics. We're really purely focusing on MVs, nothing else, not where they come from, not the hair color, not the tone of singing. They could be terrible singers for all I know. But I think that's fine. I think that's a good way of doing it. Let's go through the chat a little bit. Please try to work with SHINee and Taemin. Want to know real experience. I can already tell you the real experience is really tough. This work line is really tough. To make any type of video product is really, really tough. There's so much going on that you cannot really prepare for everything at all times. I mean, you can try, but there's always things that will change on the go, and that is something you need to prepare for. So, very silly example. I was on a project. Stupid things happen, you know, but you can forget SD cards. You can have all of a sudden a broken battery. All of a sudden SD cards doesn't work, or you save something on an SD card and then the SD card malfunctions. It breaks. It doesn't work. And so you have to, you know, redo the shoot. There are things like this that I think are very stressful. I think I know it, that from personal experience also. I was working on a commercial for a very big brand, and we wanted to get some drone shots. Now, I'm flying drones since 2012. Like, I love drones, and I tried to master my way of getting cinematic shots. Like, I wanted to master it, and I think I mastered it for the most of it, and I'm really happy with what I can get. But we hired this guy to do the filming for us because I was only managing everything, of course, with my team. And then the entire attitude of the guy who was filming was just so raw. Like, he was so rough, and he didn't care about how it was filmed. He didn't even know how to fly a drone. He didn't understand how to come from a creative angle. Like, you don't always have to film straight. A drone is basically it has no limits. It can go up, down, circle, forwards, backwards, crooked, whatever you want to do. And I told him, can we make it a little bit more dynamic? He doesn't understand what I did, what I meant. So I had to tell him basically, give me the remote. I will do it for him. So I did it for him, and we got the results that we wanted. And I was like, man, I can't imagine we're paying you for something you don't understand what we're trying to get. That's the trouble, you know? And this is the trouble with working with a lot of people. You never know where the weaknesses are. And I'm not trying to say people are weaknesses, but it can actually happen, you know? So we always have to watch out with that. Always important. Alrighty. 2 a.m. I don't know them, but I do know 2 p.m. What do we have next? We have ITZY. ITZY, I can really say it's not bad. ITZY has some really good videos as a group. I think they're strong. Their MVs are very nice and brightful. They always try to stay with the same color tones. I think they always are good in capturing the choreography. Some of the cuts are really good. Sometimes I also would say that their angles are a bit boring, and they don't know how to go get, you know, the detail, you know, to get the attention that they want. And the one thing I don't like about ITZY is that you have the Korean version of MVs, and then you also have the Japanese version of MVs. Now, you can say that I'm wrong here, but why is it that the Korean MVs get so much more attention than the Japanese MVs? What I'm trying to say here is that I forgot what song it was, but they released 2 versions. A Japanese version I actually uploaded, but it got taken down. Everything I upload that's from Japan just gets copyright striked, and I cannot even upload it because it gets banned worldwide. But some of their MVs, I think that they can still improve them. They can make them a little bit more detailed. Let's actually have a look at what I have. See if I can get an example up. It's oops. Come on, ITZY. So Wannabe, for example, is a great MV. I really love it. I think it's a great powerful MV. It's fun, it's energetic, it has everything that I think is great. And they topped it then again with In the Morning, but then lately they also released another video for the Japanese market. I'm like, guys, why you make it so sloppy? Like, the colors don't even match. They have this green, for example, in it. I'm like, oh man, this is terrible. And it just shows they treat the markets completely different, which I think is wrong. They should not do this. The Korean and the Japanese type of MVs and marketing is very similar. It's always very colorful, but here it just seems as if they scrapped one idea and they just redid it. And because of this, I would say that it's just important that they still try to aim for better. I think they're very close to superior, in all honesty. I think they're much better focused than Blackpink when it comes to MVs. But for me, I'm going to give them a very high B. They're good, they're clean, but I would, or a very low A. What do you guys think? Where would you put ITZY? Tell me, it's your choice. A or B? They don't deserve a C, they don't deserve an S. Maybe they do. If they do, of course, tell me why in the comments. But in my opinion, I think they could really just focus a little bit more on... 9 Muses is actually here. Where would you put ITZY? Tell me. B, A, C, or S? They don't deserve F at all. I will have to hear your opinion on that. It's your time to choose again. How's the chat, by the way? Is everything good? Is everything great with the stream? Is the stream okay, actually? I don't even know if the mic is okay, but I think everything is fine. I think the mic quality and everything has improved. You know, everything got better. You know, it took a year or so to get everything where it has to be, but it's fun to see where the stream has went to. But guys, tell me, what do you think? Should we give him a A or a B? I have a feeling I want to get a tissue for my nose. Let me actually read that comment. So SHINee, I don't listen to them a lot, but they are different to easily listen to them. They are their own side. This is also why that's the reason why I'm trying to put them on A. This group really, you know, there's maybe second generation. Like, again, I don't understand the generations in all honesty, but they try to stay unique from themselves, and I think that's good. They don't try to take too much from other groups, and that's most important. What I do notice is that, again, we're not talking about solo artists, but when you look at the SHINee members, it just seems that they do take elements from SHINee, and I think that is that's fair. It seems like, you know, you got the roof, you know, the roof is SHINee, and then you have the roots from all the different members. I think that's really cool. VIXX, do we actually have VIXX here? They should be here, no? Did I look? I think VIXX is not on here, if I remember right. VIXX is really good though, as well. It's worth talking about. 9 Muses, and I'm gonna leave ITZY on B, I think. 9 Muses, I didn't review them, but I do know some of their MVs. Actually, no. If I didn't review them, then I shouldn't look at it. To make it fair, you cannot really talk about it. VIXX is a great group. I know I did look at them, but yeah, that's I don't have them on the list. Sorry, I can't help you now. It's so sad. Like, I can't add stuff to it. Like, these lists are pre-made, and I wish you could add them, but yeah, it is. I can't change it. GOT7. Did I actually look at them? I think I did. GOT7. This MV, okay, so GOT7 I remember now. So I looked at one of their MVs, and that was Last Piece. Okay, Last Piece. And let's actually put it here. The problem with GOT7 is that they have some great concepts. They have some really good filming attitude. I should be paused here. And there were just some laziness in this MV, which I wasn't happy with. So here, for example, there was some jitter. It's funny that I actually started exactly on this part, but the camera was jittering here. They could have just solved that easily with a stabilizer in the MV. Would have solved everything quite easily, but they didn't. I don't know how they could have skipped something that simple, actually. And then again, they were having some really cool effects with all the people walking through the MV, you know, multiplying themselves. I thought that was super cool. The one thing that I think they needed to work on was really just making sure that the extras were beneficial. I'm not a really big fan of groups being how do you say it? You have extras, but then because of the extras, you leave them out. And this was the feeling that I had with this MV. It was all about GOT7, and I think that's okay. You know, it's totally okay. But you should also remind yourself that, hey, you have these extras. Why not use them? For example, where is it? They had this element, for example, in this room, you know, with the paintings. The girl was doing something. I thought it was really cool. They were having this idea, and the point was like they were falling in love or something like that, and the girl had a reference. She had an importance, but she was completely neglected throughout the entire MV. I thought that was so upsetting. I was like, my God, how did you skip such an important view? But that's totally fair. You know, it is fair the way it is. Man, I do like this, though. This is really fun to do. So for that, I do want to give GOT7 a 7. I think they were very sloppy when it comes to certain elements, to, you know, narrow point or pointing correctly to this correct element. They just didn't do that, and I wish they did. I wish they just focused a little bit more in the MV to make it a little bit better. And if they did, you know, this could easily be a or even a B if they did it. But because of that unfocus, they lost it for me a little bit, and I was not really happy when I finished this MV. It's from the second gen X and BTS. But now there's even a 4th gen, no, if not mistaken. I mean, that's amazing, like how many gens we have. And there's even a 1st gen. Like, I don't know 1st gen. I think that's like Wonder Woman, for example. G-IDLE. Where do we have with G-IDLE? Let's have a look. G-IDLE. Let's have a look. Wait, I don't have them? I thought I looked at G-IDLE actually. Maybe if I put it together. Nope. I don't have them, so I'm not going to rate them. I know I looked at their MVs. Maybe I just never reviewed them. That could actually be it. So we're going to put them as well up here. Look at all the videos that I just, or groups that I just didn't look at yet. Unbelievable. It's just amazing how we're actually sorting out what I've looked at and what I haven't, you know? I don't know this group. You mentioned it, no? TNE1. I didn't look at either, so I cannot really judge it. Momoland. I think I did that. Momoland. What a weird name, by the way. Momoland. No, Momoland is also not on the list. Oh my god. It shows that even though after a year, after reviewing nearly, what is it, like 150 videos, I only touched base on some of the groups. Twice. Come on, give me some luck with Twice. Did I do it? I'm getting quite anxious. Oh yeah, so Twice. Where to start? Twice seems very forced. Maybe I misspelled it. That's true. I reacted to SF9 for sure, but are they here? I don't think it was on the list. But it is true that I looked at them. But Twice, okay? But if let's actually have a little look at (G)I-DLE. I thought I looked at (G)I-DLE actually. I actually did. Oh yeah, this was it. So, the MV, okay? The MV with (G)I-DLE, so Senorita. So, this was a very interesting video for me to look at. I thought it was very good the way things were captured. There were some CGI elements in it, you know, some 3D elements. For example, these books were fake and everything. The one thing that I thought was fantastic in this MV was actually this part. They had this animation of a swinging by someone, but the moment it swung by, the hair also moved with it. So they had some elements with it that reacted to the real elements. And I did put them there. Let me have a quick look. Where are they? SF9. How did I not see them? Maybe I accidentally put them there very quick. Tell me where they are. Maybe you can see it quicker than me. Aha, you retracted your message. Maybe it is not there. What I want to say about Senorita with (G)I-DLE. Actually, we can put it back up there again. Where is it? Where is it? There. So, but do you know where? Let's have a look. There, SF9. Sorry, I thought that was SE9. My mistake. So with (G)I-DLE, and I can only judge it on this MV. After this, I didn't look at them anymore. With Senorita, I thought they were a little bit... Yes, thanks, guys. Hey, Vanishka, all good? The problem with... In case you want to see the list. So the problem with (G)I-DLE is that they're... It seems very forced. It seems as if these girls are put into a... fake. What's fake? The problem with (G)I-DLE is that (G)I-DLE seems very forced. I've seen multiple videos, for example, this one, and oh no, sorry, I'm getting off topic. I'm mixing up my my groups now. Sorry. So with Senorita, it was a very good MV. I love that they added these cool effects to it. I thought the locations were very nice, but the one thing that I noticed is that they missed a massive opportunity in this MV where you have this guy saying all of a sudden "Senorita," like super cool voice. And then you don't have this Spanish guy who doesn't appear in the MV, as if they could have added a person there to add a little bit to their song. And it was just a bit of a missed opportunity, I think. And I think I called this MV as, yeah, missed opportunity. It was just that it's missing this spiciness from this mysterious voice. And they don't even say who it was. Maybe a shadow or something could have helped there just to spice it up a little bit. But it just went away and they neglected it completely. Because of that, you know, I want to give them a good B, because they did consider a lot of elements, especially for this MV with Senorita. There's a lot of MVs there that missed these elements. You know, when something is moving quick, there's going to be wind involved. And here they included all those small little details to make the MV more believable. And that really did a great thing. It really just, it did fantastic, you know, for the MV. But they just missed it, I think. And it was, I don't know why they skipped it. And I would love to ask them, to be honest. This is the biggest question I have with the song, and I just don't understand it. Maybe you guys understand it. Maybe why would you forget the male protagonist if he has such a strong part in the song, but he doesn't come actually on the MV? Bit of a question for me. SF9. What video did I look at from them? I forgot that though. I know I looked at them, and I do apologize for that. SF9. Teardrop, wasn't that? Basically have one frame. It's a very interesting effect. I'll be honest, 12 seconds. But I like what they need to have a little skip through it again. Beautiful shots. I like it has a very mellow feel to it. Very nice. Wow. Remember that shot at the very beginning? That is what he is. Sorry guys, I'm trying to look at the MV again. Really nice effect here. Okay, so now I remember it. Your video is fake. Her song and MV are great. Which video are you talking about? I cannot really judge what her is. I don't know who her is in this meeting. So if you can explain, maybe we can get you some answers. But I don't think this video is fake, to be honest. Am I fake? Guys, do you think I'm fake? Maybe this is all just a recording and I'm just randomly, with luck, answering all your questions. Good videos, very well edited together. Some really nice transitions, really clean transitions. I remember that for sure with SE9. And some of the colors I thought were a little bit weird. They worked a lot with black and white. I think that's an interesting element, for example. They played with this cube. I remember that. I'm just trying to see if I remember anything that was... Doesn't the tree go on fire at the end, if not mistaken? I need to think about it. I know that the tree had a very important part. Either way, I still remember their MV, and I just want to say it was really good. You know, I'm going to give them a clear B. I don't think it was really breathtaking, because if something is breathtaking to me, I would give it an A. If something is really memorable, I would say, that's awesome. What do you mean my video is fake? Stop saying my video is fake. I don't get it. My video is not fake, man. I'm real. I'm right here. Write a number down. I will tell you the number. My point is that yeah, that's okay. Yeah, no, that's okay. Your opinion is your opinion. That's totally fine. I mean, they all work hard. I'm not saying they don't. I'm not saying anything like that, you know? And they all work super hard. We're not talking about the groups. We're talking about everything behind it. We're talking about MVs. We're not talking about anything else. Because sometimes you can see they're making MVs just to make MVs. And in this case, they're doing quite well, actually, you know, when it comes to MVs. Most of them are doing quite well. So I can't really complain about that. We should all be happy, you know? Like, in all honesty, everything at least has a C. Like, imagine it, a C. Nothing is a D or an F. Like, that's amazing. And that's I'm very critical when it comes to MVs. The only reason why some of these MVs go down is because they were just sloppy and they could be maybe better. Twice. But I think SF9 deserves a really good B. They are creative. They try to make their own thing. But again, it's nothing too spectacular. You still have to remember, a good MV is something that reminds yourself that it was an MV, that you reviewed them. And there are some groups that really have that impact, you know, that is very important, of course. So, what do we have next? We have Twice. Let's have a look at Twice. What did we review from them? I know there's some things. Okay, Twice. Twice. Now, it's going to sound negative, but I have a feeling Twice is one of those groups that is forced into MVs. I don't know why, but there's sometimes I just feel very uncomfortable looking at them. With Alcohol Free, it really just seems a bit... let me just judge it. For example, there is this element. Let's skip it. So before we get into the video, I must admit I did. Yeah, the video, blah 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 blah. Most of this is, for example, most of this is CGI. I didn't even know it was CGI until mid-video. I mean, that's fantastic. But all of a sudden, like, this element here is where they start. Oops, sorry. It just feels really. It just felt very weird, in all honesty. I don't know why. It was about the framing or the way they're standing. I don't know. There was something about it that didn't really grasp me. Maybe it was just the colors. Maybe it was just that they were not really highly in focus and we just see things moving. And I have to say the word things because we're not really focused on the members. Yeah, it was really weird. It feels as if I was watching a commercial and let's I need to go through it a little bit. Yeah, some of the CGI work was also really bad, in all honesty. They could have worked on it. Princess? What do you mean princess? Sometimes people say something in the chat. I don't know why are you saying the word princess? Out of where does that come from? For example, here the glass, you know, there was just some elements. You can even see that this hand is green screen purely because of this little dot here. That's bad masking. But it's small things like this that I would say, can we maybe make it better? Can we fix it a little bit? Because at the end of the day, this is nothing more than a hand. You don't need a lot of time to redo this shot. So it's questionable. This was a cool scene. I'm just trying to think. You know, it feels a bit forced, some of their videos, if I can say that, but I enjoy it at the same time. I really just enjoy seeing them on screen. But at the same time, it feels like, because it's such a big group, it's really hard to capture everyone, you know, during the scene. And that is something that I think you need to hinder, of course, when it comes to making these type of MVs. You need to somehow still keep it focused. And I can only imagine how tough it actually is to film all of these members. I mean, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 people. Think about it. 9 people. Oh, come on. That's not really fair. When I go to sets, I know how hard it is, you know? I have been on sets. I mean, you literally sometimes are filming for 20 hours straight and you'll be dead at the end of the day. It's a very tiring experience. I can only tell you, like, if you can do it, do it. It's okay. Now it makes sense. But really, if you can go on a set, you know, let's say you don't film, but you want to be on set, try it out. Be there from beginning to end. You'll find out how tired you are. You should be happy if you stay in a hotel that has a bathtub because you're going to need it. Your muscles are going to hurt from standing all day. Your arms are going to hurt from holding equipment today, from running up and down with all that equipment. It's a lot of work. And that's why I love everyone who does this type of filming. And it's easier, of course, the bigger the group is. But at the end of the day, if there's a lot of people there, it's better. But if you're a smaller group, it gets tougher. So I really mean it. Even filming for 6 hours is a pain on the head. You're focusing nonstop and you want nothing to break, you know, on set. So it's quite important. Anyway, back to Twice. Now we can finish it. I think that they deserve also a good B. I think they're creative. I think their CGI is very clean compared to some other groups. And they like to play with other elements as well. Now, the question is whether you like the music or not. Now, the song was not my most favorite. It is a little bit stuck in my head because I remember it. But the MV is a little bit forgetful. The only thing that I was amazed about, because I do the video work, you know, is that all these sombreros, where are they? I thought this scene was very interesting. I thought... Oh yeah, that was it. I thought this was super nice. I thought this was super interesting. And I love that there were actually real fireworks there as well. Some real elements and everyone was having a good time. But somehow, again, it seems very... it seems a bit forced at times, if I can say so. But I have a feeling that seems to be like a big trend actually in K-pop. You know, that a lot of these elements are actually forced. What do you think? Yeah, that's why I was also a little bit confused, Umar. Umair? I think it's Umair, no? I was a little bit confused as well. But the point is basically, it is still a very good MV. And I'm going to give Twice for at least, it's very hard, I think. I can only imagine how hard it is for them to capture it. I'm going to give them a B as well. I think they're quite good and they're doing everything right. I don't know them, G-Friend. I know I did them as well. Let's have a look at them. G-Friend. I didn't look at them. I think that's all that I actually looked at. None of them of the rest I looked at. Yeah, I didn't look at G-Friend. I know I saw something, but I will report you your life. Sorry. What do you want to report me for being live? I mean, if it's bad to be live, I wouldn't be allowed to be live on YouTube. No, but I must say, guys, this is the list. Like, what do you actually think at the end of the day? Do you think it's a good list? Do you think it's a bad list? You know, tell me. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's our list. I mean, at the beginning, we were a couple of more people, but I think I started a bit late. Next time I'll start a little bit earlier so that we all can be there. And a lot of people are just waking up, for example, in America. But I think this is the list. I think this is quite a fair list from everyone that we looked at. I'm going to make a screenshot of this. But I think it's a good list from where we can start. I think if we do this next year again, it's going to maybe look a little bit different, especially if we look at more MVs. I only looked at 150 MVs from all these other groups, but I think it's fair. I think this is quite a good comparison. What do you guys think? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's not good? Tell me. Tell me, of course. I think it's a very reasonable list. I have a feeling it's very different though from other people, but then again, it's all from our channel. No, guys, we're here doing these things together. We're here having a good time, and that's the most important, of course. Why is it a bad list? Where would you put everything? Would you put everything in S, A, B, or C? Tell me what you would do different then. That's the most important. We're not just here to bash people or to say, you know, it's important that we share our opinion. That's always important. Just tell me why. Tell me why you think it's a good list. Tell me why you think it's a bad list. I got the point. I know it's a bad list by now, but why is it a bad list? That is the most important. Tell me why it's bad. What about anyone else? I feel like playing a song, but I know I'll get a copyright say. He knows when you are naughty. He knows when you're awake. Oh god, this is I must say though, guys, thanks all for being there so far. You know, it was a really good time, and I hope you enjoy these kind of live streams. I'm gonna see how we can do a questionnaire. I want to see how we can do it. I think that's very important because I do want to do like a top 10 list maybe at 2022, all depending on what you guys say. And I think it will be a very fun experience, you know, that we all do this together. I'm really curious what you guys think is like your best MV, and from there we're going to rate it down, of course, and I'm going to do the countdown with you guys, you know, in 2021. I think it will be very fun. I hope I can do this by next weekend, and should be really cool. What do you guys think? Yeah, that's a good plan, I guess. No. I mean, Kumar, I don't know if you are there, but if you want to, go check out the Blackpink video that I made. Not Blackpink, sorry, the Lisa video about La Lisa. Check it there. Yeah, I was honest though. I laughed a little bit though about Princess. I thought it was a funny typo. I mean, better than no typo at all, you know. but I think it's quite normal. I know it's going to be hard, but my goal is, of course, you know, I want people to relax when they make these decisions. I know some people are going to be biased and unbiased, and you know, we need to be open-minded still. Again, we're only looking at MVs. We're not looking at anything else. We're looking not about their talent, about, you know, their love affairs or anything like that. We're really just talking about MVs and see if they can improve it. Do we see maybe the opportunity for people to grow a little bit, you know? We're not roasting. That's important. If you want me to roast videos, I can do that. Oh god, my throat is so dry. The only thing that we can do is look at them and see what they can do better. You know, MVs have issues, and I point them out. That's not roasting, that's just seeing what I see and pointing these elements out. I think that's the most important as well, because you know what I love sometimes in the comment section is that when people write down like, man, I didn't even notice this until you pointed it out. I love this because it shows that some people look at MVs, but they don't look close enough. But until I point things out, they're like, man, this is actually cooler than I thought, or worse than I thought. And I think that's very important. I think for today's question, by the way, what is everyone up to? That would be interesting to know as well. We'd love to hear that about you guys, you know? See what you guys actually think. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm quite happy with where we are and what this list looks like. I think this is quite a fair list from our assumption. I wasn't really expecting Blackpink, to be honest, to be on C, but when we look at their MVs and compare it to some of the other MVs, it's actually a clear answer. I think Teresa was only just making a bit of fun with you. I mean, I thought it was a funny typo as well, to be honest. But look, that's how you learn. It's good that you learn from these things, no? It's always nice that people are supportive. But a lot of groups to look at still. Look at all these groups. Guys, I'm going to quickly go to the bathroom. I want to get a tissue. My nose is itchy. I'll be back like in a couple of seconds, actually, and then we can continue this. What do you think? Do you think that's fair? At the same time, I just want you guys to answer one question, okay? What do you think of the list? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's not fair? If you would change anything around, what would you change around? And that, I think, will be the most important. Yeah? I'll be back in, I think, like 2 minutes or so. 3 minutes? Just quickly get a tissue paper from downstairs, yeah? I'll catch you then, guys. Oh, wrong one. Haha. What is that? Oh, that was a bit too close to the microphone, I think, but I am back. So, we have Teresa and Umar. We have finally solved the issue. But, I think it's so good. Man, no one... I mean, we have one person that's really against the list. We have another person who is not... No other one is against the list. I mean, that's totally fine. I mean, guys, I just want to... leave this open. Again, if you want to support the channel and you want to see more things like this, all you have to do is make sure you hit this button here and become part of the Patreon system. We are actually doing a few more things on Patreon slowly. Again, it's a lot of work actually. So if you want to be part of it, it will be worth it a little bit more in the sense of, more people will be watching it. It will also be more fun for me. But also, I just want to say that we're slowly actually out of fun looking at other reviewers. And there's a few out there already. And it's fun to just analyze what they say and what you think of them. To see, can you agree, can you not agree with them? And see if they're actually just saying things I think, if things are real or not. Because I have a feeling, and this is just a theory, okay? But I just want to say that... what did I want to say? Man, I actually forgot. It's Christmas time, guys. We should all be happy, Should all have a good cup of hot cocoa. But what I want to say is, so I'm looking at other reviewers and I'm analyzing them with my patrons. And what we do is we actually just have a look at them and see what they say. It's true, is it not as true? And the reason is because I have a theory that there are some people out there just saying things are good purely because they want to... I'm not making fun of any subscribers. I thought what you said was actually true. But what I want to say is there is some... and also, I didn't try to upset you. I thought you saw the joke into it. So I apologize anyway from my side. Learned my lesson. But what I want to say is that I think there are some people out there that will purely say... how do you say it? They will just say things to make the people happy. So I can imagine some people literally, or some reviewers, some whatever, they claim to know something or not. It doesn't really matter. But they just say everything is good purely because they want to, make sure that the viewers are just happy without even questioning whether what they are saying is correct or not. I'm not a big fan of anything like that happening. Well, sorry for that. But that's okay. I think it's all good. I think we're all having a good time. That's all more important. I mean, I think I'm going to be here for another couple of seconds. And that's it. Oops. Like I said, if you do want to support the channel, this is your way of doing it. And of course, guys, if you have any more suggestions on what we can look at next. My favorite album, though. My nose is still itchy. I think my favorite album, okay? My favorite album is from Key. I think his album really got me by surprise. I don't know what the Fake Love, not Fake Love, what's it called? Bad Love. I think he got me really by surprise. I didn't expect another member from SHINee to have so much talent. Like, I only looked entertainment, but then when you look at different members, it's quite powerful, and his album is really good. His MVs are very good as well. We should maybe do this next week where we look at, Bad Love. I think we can do this next week. Again, we can do the same list, but with solo artists. I think this would be really a good way of looking at it. And it could be fun, It could be fun to look at this. It's only because of Vanshika why I said Fake Love. Because of it's a BTS song, but no, it's Bad Love. And he has some really good MVs as well, and I was really surprised. It got me by... You mean the full album? I mean, if there's MVs to all of them, that would be kind of cool. But yeah, this is my list, and that's where we're gonna move forward, I guess. I just hope you guys can enjoy it a little bit. I hope you guys had a little bit of a... You see, some people agree with what's the best album. I cannot say if it's the best album. It's like one of the albums that just got me by surprise, you know? It really just got me like, oof, that's good. You know, like, ugh, very nice. And, I mean, I don't even want to say it. Maybe I will, but I think it got me better by surprise than Taemin's album, purely because I didn't know him, and I think that gave me a bit of a surprise factor. I think that really just got me by yeah, you know, Smooth by Butter, Smooth Like Butter, and Butter by BTS is a good song, don't get me wrong. Like, it's quite okay. It's like I said, it just reminds me too much of Justin Timberlake. Too many people want to make it look like Justin Timberlake. And I'm happy that they're going away from it again. They did it as well with Permission to Dance. So you had Butter, then Permission to Dance, like part 2 of Butter. And it was a good MV, you know, like, it was fun, but it's not... It's their own thing. But then again, I really felt as if I was watching Justin Timberlake as a group. As if Justin Timberlake had many people, you know, being part of him. What did you guys think of the stream? Did you think it was good? Did you enjoy this little video? Did you enjoy the stream? Did you enjoy being here on a Sunday? Actually, we're gonna, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I know what I'm doing. Sorry. I wanted to fix the chat a little bit. There we go. Because it's funny, I get this chat. I read the chat on my screen quicker than what I actually get on Streamlabs, which is very interesting. Yeah, but that's the thing, you know, it really just got me by surprise, and I think that's the reason why I got like this wow factor, like, whoa, where did it even come from? Like, huh? And that was really nice, you know, that's nice that you still have groups like that. So that made me really happy, in all honesty. That made me super, super happy. By the way, how's the mic quality today? Is it all good? Is it all clear? Is it crisp? Is it not crisp? Tell me. Would love to hear your opinion. Do, 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 do. I'm trying to think how I can... but a water nut. You know, I can understand why. It makes sense. They have so much marketing pumped into this group, so they're gonna win, you know, what can I say? They have a lot of things going on, and what do you guys think? Should we do this next week again? We start a little bit earlier, maybe? Or I will start earlier instead of 3 o'clock my time, maybe 1 hour earlier, so more people from Asia can join in. And it's going to be a little bit better for everyone else, I guess. On top of that, let's focus maybe on groups. Sorry, on solo artists. I think that could be fun as well. And then we have some really good time, I guess, no? I hope my stream doesn't get banned now because of... that would be surprising, I would say. That would be surprising. But tell me if I should do it next week or not. And I know Vanchinka is going to say no, but that's okay. That's totally fine. Oh, by the way, guys, I quickly want to say this as well, really quick, in case anyone is interested. Come join here. Oh man, this is really big. You cannot see it. Make sure to check out the Fuku website. I'm gonna put it in the chat actually, because then you have it. But basically, what we have is it's a new clothing brand that is basically K-pop inspired, but also you know, we want to give people the fresh feel as if they can wear whatever they want, and also be trendy at the same style. It's a really fresh brand, really fun brand. It's new. If you do want to support it, you have a discount code down below, of course. And like it says itself, you know, stay Q, stay yourself. And if you want to know, Fuku comes from the word luck in Japan, and it stands for, like I just said, luck actually, and prosperity. And I'm really looking forward to actually, like, maybe you guys are interested. The discount code is below. If you do want to order, of course, make sure to check out the link and order before before Friday, actually, if you want to have it by Christmas, because we need to ship internationally, and with Corona taking up again, we do want to make sure that something arrives. So if you do want it, the code is there. Make sure to check it out. If you have any questions, ask me, of course, in the link below as well. And yeah, that's really it, guys. I don't really have anything to do. I do want to check out more ASTRO for sure. Don't get me wrong. I will get there, okay? Like, it's all coming. There's just too much to do. I mean, if we just look at the list again, you can just see how much, how many groups I did not look at yet. You know, there's so many things. I did like over 150 videos this year, and it just shows how much is out there. There's a lot of videos, and it's going to be interesting. Man, the weather is so cool today. Winter is officially here. Sayonara. Theoretically, sayonara means goodbye, but it means that you're not going to see the person again forever. So, what do you actually say? Yeah, I have a lot to catch up. But arigatou gozaimasu. And guys, man, the K-pop army is so split up. You have too many biases, Funji. Not everyone likes BTS, in all honesty. There's a massive army that also hates BTS. I don't know how I found them, but I found them. They were even on my channel at one point, but they disappeared again. I think it's like an army of people just going... And... I know. It's all good. Just in case, people sometimes don't know that sayonara means like in Japanese, because it doesn't mean goodbye, but it means goodbye forever. So, sayonara. Oh, I wish I could learn some Japanese again, actually. I should pick it up again. I did it for around 8 months and then I stopped. I really miss it, actually. It was a fun language to learn and really chill. But... giving me some nostalgic feelings. But okay, guys, I'm gonna go. I think that's it. I don't have any more to say, actually. Yep, you did. Or we did. The music is so relaxing. Just, I love Christmas time sometimes. It's nice and dark outside. Sitting with some cool people like you. Can't complain. But guys, stay safe, stay healthy. And I'll be in the chat. I'm going to close it down though. And I'll be in the chat for some time. I wonder if there's this... One sec, guys. I want to check something. You know what? No, we're going to stay here. Okay. Sorry, I had to quickly check through it. It was a long time since I set this up right, but I thought I'd set it up right, but... he'll come back. He's gonna come back very hunky-dunky, and he's gonna be... It will be funny, though, if he comes back like... not on you, what's this guy called? What's the guy's called? Oh, man. He made a song called Blue. One sec. Song Blue. What's the guy's not? Is it Minho? No, not Min. Is it Minho or Blue? No. Minho is from SHINee. Who's the guy who made the song Blue? No. He's not from SHINee. He's this really hunky dunky dude. Oh god. He's from Monster X, if not mistaken. ONEUS. That was it. ONEUS. Yeah. Well, ONEUS also made a song called Blue. What I want to say is just it would be funny to see. Bye-bye. Have a good one, okay? And thanks for coming, by the way. No, but ONEUS also was there. And can you imagine that Taemin comes back? Like ONEUS, completely ripped. Like, that will be... To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, like, a lot of Koreans are ripped after the army because they come by and they have a completely different diet. But... oh, that will be interesting. I'm curious, you know, to see what would happen there. But either way, I think he's in good hands. I mean, at the end of the day, he is in the government hands now. So I think he will be healthy the way he is now. I think everything should be fine. But okay, guys, I'm going to go now. I'll catch you guys a little bit later. Of course, like I said, come check out the Patreon. Come check out fuku.com. All the links are down below. Make sure to come hit the Discord as well. It's open. You can join there. Talk to me there. And... thank you all for being there, you know, and I wish you a happy Sunday ahead of you or a good night ahead of you. And for me, a good evening ahead of me. So stay healthy, stay safe, and enjoy your life. That's all I can say. Make the most out of it. That's always what I try to say. Yeah. Catch you then, guys, and have a good one.